Because, the Trump executive orders have been dropping all over the place. The stuff that's getting signed in is amazing. And it's all the day one stuff. There was a lot of day one promises. I don't think any of them have been kept.
No.
But a lot of day one promises. I think we're kind of in a very similar spot that we were in. I was at, what I had for breakfast on Sunday was eggs. So expensive.
I didn't know you were doing that well.
So expensive. It was incredible. Nothing's changed. Not one thing. And I'm shocked by it.
Way to alienate your audience.
I know. What are you, one of those egg eaters?
Wow.
Yes, I am. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. But in all the executive orders being passed around, there was one signed about the declassification of documents related to JFK, related to Martin Luther King, related to RFK. Basically, that whole wave of assassinations that people think the government did. Trump has said he signed an executive. He took out his Sharpie, his big, thick felt marker, where you can only see his signature on the document, nothing else. It's squeaky, too, when he signs.
And it's a long signature. It's not quick.
Oh, yeah. And I don't believe, you can't see the way the documents are written. I don't believe there's that much room for the signature. I think he's writing over the document with his signature.
He's coloring outside the line.
I think so. I think he's doing it on purpose because he really, when you watch him sign his name, he's extending up half the page. Look at all those markers. I want a whole box of markers. Usually they have obviously they sign every executive order in a different pen. So somebody can have the privilege of getting the pen. I got the pen that signed this executive order. I got the pen that signed that executive order. But usually it's that, it's that fine tipped, Mont Blanc or whatever it is. These are like graffiti markers.
Yeah, these are like tagging markers.
Yeah,
You see big tags.
Yeah. Like if you walk into school with a marker like this, it's getting taken away. Yeah. The only reason you have that marker is because you're going to write something disparaging about one of the girls in your class on a bathroom stall.
You can bring that down to the Lower East Side?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tag it up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like where it drips. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is. You kind of got to push it, before it really...
There's a little ball in it.
There is. Yeah. There is. Shake. That would be great if he started signing in paint pen. All right, what do we got to sign next? So this is this gentleman here. He had all the binders, and he was going through executive order after executive order, and then this one got announced.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Look how thick the marker is.
So much.
It's like ASMR.
Give that to RFK Jr. Okay.
It's the type of marker you could hold with a fist. You don't have to know how to hold a pencil. Like you haven't practiced penmanship. You can hold it with your entire fist and just.
I would love to know why he takes so much time to put his signature. Why wouldn't you simplify?
I know why. It's to him the most important part of the document. What could be bigger than this? This document is worthless. It's just a bunch of random words. Wait till I put my signature on it.
It's a hell of a signature.
It's a great signature. Well, yeah, and I think he's worked on it. I think he looks at this when celebrities do the convention circuit, but they take great pride in creating great memorabilia for their fans.
Not Tom Brady.
No, Tom Brady, he could give a fuck. Yeah. Tom Brady, if he were the president, they'd go, we can't pass any of these executive orders. This isn't even a signature.
It's a line.
You scribbled on this, and he'd just go, well, I didn't approve signing any autographs.
That's something.
Yeah, I don't even see how it's Donald Trump. I guess that's the...
Well, this, I guess, is the D.
That's the D. I can see the L. You can see that.
And here's the L.
That's the L. It looks like a Richter scale.
This must be the T.
Yeah, but there's not a T.
Well, that's not a D.
Nah.
But so we're going to start getting picky.
There's no cross. There's no cross on the T.
No.
And this is the P.
It is?
Sure.
Oh, because the P is lowercase.
I guess. I don't know. Hey, listen, my signature doesn't look like anything either, so...
Well, yeah, you're not signing executive orders. Like, I don't think your
No,
signature's
I'm not-
going in the Library of Congress either. I think
I'm
we'll
just
be
saying
okay.
generally signatures for a lot of people are just scribble.
Yeah, but not people who sign things and it's a thing. Like, if you sign things and it's a thing,
Yeah, but that's how he's always signed it.
but now he's the president and he's signing executive orders.
So you think you should just switch it up?
Well, I think he should not be signing with a big fat marker,
Oh, well, that's a choice.
you know?
Wants to make a statement.
Give this to RFK Jr. Find out what happened to your dad, my man.
He's going to be like, great, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, like in the,
This is the marker. Oh, yeah. We're getting to the bottom of
The
it.
president said you have to eat a Big Mac before I give you this.
Yeah. Here's the marker and a Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola first. Okay. Can I just have a sip? Oh, no. The orders were the entire
The whole
thing. I want to hear a Coca-Cola belch coming out of you. He's getting very jealous of your physique. He's trying to fatten you up.
but like, look at his signature. Like, there's too many letters in Trump. That's not. It's just.
Well,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's a lot of letters.
No, that's right. It is. It's just waves. It's just wave, down for the P. And what's next?
Unless he throws a J in there. Isn't that his initial?
That
His
might be
middle
the
initial?
center.
Oh, maybe the centerpiece is the J?
Maybe the J comes over and the T crosses the T.
Right.
What does the J stand for?
They said John.
Maybe he's signing John as well.
Do you think there's a John in there?
It's a lot of
Scribbling.
But it doesn't feel like enough scribbles for John.
No.
It feels like too many for Donald Trump and not enough for John. Yeah, it's a weird one. But he takes great pride in it, I think.
I don't know why he would. It just looks like nothing.
But he wants everybody, you know what it is when you see it. And it's such a elaborate thing. Like when he's signing, it is so...
See, Joe Biden looks like a signature. That's what it's supposed to look
That's
like.
what it's supposed to look like.
Like, it looks nice. It's everything's
It's actually a
kinda-
pretty dope signature.
Yeah, it's like sleek.
Right. Right, but sometimes, there are like, in like memorabilia world, they say the bigger your signature is, the bigger your ego is. Right? Like when you're signing a piece and it's meant to be signed by a ton of people, and then one guy just goes, yeah, I got this, and signs half the picture.
Obama's is good too.
Obama's a good signature.
That kind of looks like the Zodiac.
I have my theories. Okay. But that's for a different show. We're not talking about that right now, but
Let me see if George Bush knew how to sign his name.
I think he just wrote in like letters, like, and sometimes he'd miss the E in George, but anybody could miss that.
That's okay.
I don't think he knows what letters are.
No.
It's fine. Like you get it. And I'll tell you what he did do. That is a capital script G.
And that's a B.
Yeah, okay.
The B he nailed. the B he hit out of the park.
He did a good job with that B.
But the capital, that is a capital letter. The capital script G is a complicated, because it doesn't look like a G.
It's a hard thing to do.
Right. And I think he nailed that one. So I'll give him credit for that. I can tell there's more in common with the name George Bush than there is. Yeah, see, that's a crazy thing. The capital cursive G.
It's stupid.
It is.
It's real dumb. It's real dumb. But I could tell that that's George Bush more than... I think there are more similarities to the words George and Bush in that signature than there are to Donald Trump in Trump's signature. Like, I don't know what that is.
It just looks like a waveform.
It's a Richter scale.
Yeah.
Because he's shaking things up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So he's like, I wish you guys wouldn't talk about the signature so much. The big deal is I'm going to declassify all these documents. And there are people who have said, that a lot of the documents actually have already been declassified.
Right.
And there wasn't much there. And then apparently, I don't know, it might have been the RFK one. In one of them, police had a whole bunch of evidence that they ended up not using in the trial. So they just destroyed it all. I was reading an article, they just destroyed it all. And they got yelled at, like, why would you destroy all that evidence? They're like, I don't know, bro. Whatever. But so some of it is still destroyed. But for what it's worth, whatever is still classified in those assassination cases is an executive order has been placed to be declassified. I don't know when we get it.
I think there's like a certain amount of days that they have to figure out how they're going to release it.
Right. What's the process?
Yeah, they have 45 days for RFK and JFK, and then I think more time for MLK.
I think MLK's family wants to see it before they release it, too.
But are they going to get that?
I don't know.
They don't have to.
They don't have to, no.
And also, they just have to be released. They don't have to be declassified. Like, there's going to be...
Oh, you mean like they won't
There's going to be black bars.
There will
all
still
over
be
them.
redacted.
Yeah,
they'll be
they just have to be
declassified in the
released.
sense that we have the documents, but the
And also, they just
redactions
have to
will
present
also
a
be
plan. They could come back and say, like, listen, we really can't do this because X, Y, and Z, and then he'll be like, I got you. Well, I tried.
He better not, man. People are going to be pissed.
He did it last time.
I know he did.
But he's not running for re-election this time. Last time it was almost like I feel like people were a little pissed, but they got it. They were like, "Wow, he's got to run for re-election."
And at this point, it's like there's so few documents
I
left
know.
that it's like
I got an interesting, funny theory for you, Sam.
I feel like you're framing this in a way because we're going to tease you for it, but it started as this is definitely my theory.
No, I mean, this could be a theory.
it's just a joke.
Yeah, but I'm just so you know, guys, I'm just kidding. He remembers that he got mocked for the erection thing. So now his theories are presented with, I'm just kidding, by the way. But I want you to know that as you present these theories, the part where you say, I'm just kidding, I don't take that part seriously at all.
Well, wait till you hear my theory.
Okay.
Then. Okay.
All right.
That part's redacted.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just a big black line over, I'm just kidding.
All right.
All right. So in his first term,
Yes.
Trump said
Right.
that he didn't release the JFK documents because he saw what was in them,
Mm-hmm.
and if you saw, this is what he said: if you saw what was in them, you wouldn't have released them either.
Can we find that quote?
Sure.
I'm not doubting you. I just
Right.
wanted
It sounds like you're dead.
because I do remember him saying something to that effect.
So so I believe it was Mike Pompeo was very like, hey,
Shout out, by the way.
do not release those documents, like do not put them out there. So what would happen
Okay.
if in the document, the JFK documents,
Right.
it turns out that that
Just kidding, by the way. Right.
I'm joking. This is a joke.
Right.
It'd be funny if it turns out that Ted Cruz's dad actually killed JFK,
Right.
and Ted Cruz now has to be the sacrificial lamb for MAGA.
Right.
And now everybody turns on Ted Cruz
Because of his dad.
because his dad killed JFK.
And maybe when Trump only had the one term, he still kind of needed Ted
He
Cruz.
needed Ted Cruz.
But now
He's like, fuck that guy.
he can throw him right under the bus. And Ted Cruz is somewhere making very private phone calls going, can you not release this stuff? Like, you know what's in there. And Trump's like, got to do it. Sorry, man. Got to do
I
it.
made a promise.
He's like, you said my wife was ugly and I still had your back. Can you please have my back? And Trump's like, no, I cannot. Wow. Can you imagine if it turns out?
And that's what, because you have to ask yourself, it's over 60 years later.
Right.
What are you hiding? What don't you want people to see?
Ted Cruz's dad.
And that would be something that'd be like, you know what? I need Ted Cruz, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, hey, buddy, sorry, man. I had to get reelected, and that's more important than you.
Than you existing as a person. Your whole shit. Everything you've worked on. This is more important than that.
And I feel like everybody knows that Ted Cruz is kind of a turd.
I mean, yeah, I think he has his supporters, I guess, probably in Texas, right?
I don't even know.
I don't
people
know.
in Texas like him.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, if you said, and this isn't even politically, just as a person, if you were like, I don't think Ted, by the way, 866-969-1969, if you disagree, you can call up, because when you say it that way, I do think that if somebody said to me, I don't think Ted Cruz is a turd, I'd go, what?
Exactly.
You don't?
Nobody doesn't think that.
During a conversation with Andrew Napolitano, Donald Trump revealed that he chose not to release the JFK assassination records, stating, if they showed you what they showed me, you wouldn't have released it either.
Troy was right.
Okay.
So, yeah, what could that be?
Now, that's a very general statement. It could be, right, Ted Cruz's dad, because he's like, I need Ted Cruz on my side still, and I'm not trying to throw his dad under the bus. Yet. It could be like, oh, this is going to be so jarring for the American people. Or it could be, this is such a nothing burger. Why bother releasing it?
Well, see,
But let me make everybody think I know something really cool.
Right. Like, I wouldn't have released it either because everybody hyped it up. And they're going to go, Trump, this is nothing. Who cares?
And a lot of people are saying that there's nothing in it, but then it's like, well, why are you hiding it for 60 years? If it just...
Will you be upset after 60 years, and you've been very, litigious about this case, I find. Would you be upset if the documents come out and it's like, well, it says right here, lone gunman.
I mean,
like if it was just that guy, lone gunman. You know the official story? That is the story. Would you be like, what?
I mean, at this point, I
read that whole book for nothing.
I hope RFK Jr. is like, because I've heard him explain how it happens and what happened, and so like I hope he would be like, this is bullshit.
RFK's explanation of his uncle or his dad?
His uncle.
His uncle.
And there's they used AI on the Zapruder film.
Oh, good.
That's all, I've been seeing that lately on X, where they really enhanced it. And they show an arrow coming from like the front of the car, and you can clearly see he's hit from the front. So it's like
DeepSeek did that, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they were involved.
Yeah, they did it real quick too. So they used AI and okay.
This is JFK's grandson.
JFK's grandson now. The truth is a lot sadder than the myth, a tragedy that didn't need to happen, not part of an inevitable grand scheme. Declassification is using JFK as a political prop. When he's not here to punch back, there's nothing heroic about it. Okay, so he's saying that Trump is just using this to get the Troy Kwans of the world on his side, correct?
Yeah.
That's his kind of take?
Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, why wouldn't you want the full story out there?
By the way, I love the replies already, right? Because there's somebody like you. Well, why wouldn't you want the full story out there? So this is a guy like you, Troy, responding to it, saying, "Have you reviewed the files? Have you read the documents? What puts you in a position to know what is being declassified and released, if anything?" And JFK's grandson responds, "I know everything, dick."
I mean, it just shows you what kind of guy he is.
What are you talking about?
That's a dumb thing to say.
Why is it a dumb thing to say? Which one is the dumb thing to say?
I know everything, dick. It's like, why wouldn't you want whatever it is, whatever happened, why wouldn't you want that out there?
Well, if he thinks it's being politicized, he would probably, it's not about not wanting it out there. It's about going, okay, I see people who, by the way, my father wouldn't have agreed with, politicizing this for their own gains. And that seems to be what he's got a problem with.
Well, it was they gave a date. I forget what the date was that it was all supposed to come out, and Trump didn't put it out on the date that it was supposed to. So it's like there was
protect
Ted Cruz's dad. So it's like it was supposed to come out. They gave the date that it was like this will all be released on this date.
You think it's classless that he wrote, "I know everything, dick"?
It makes him kind of seem like an idiot.
Right. It's weird because I feel like if anybody else had written that, you would think it was funny. But when he wrote it, you were like, "Well, that's just wrong."
I just don't know what your reasoning would be that you wouldn't want all the information out there for people to understand it.
Maybe he's part of the PSYOP.
Everything's part of the PSYOP at this point.
You're right. You think Theo Von is part of the PSYOP now that he's been at the inauguration? You think Theo Von and the Paul brothers are part of the... Do you think they're part of the Illuminati now because they were at the inauguration?
No. I don't think it's that easy.
Theo's the man.
Yeah, but wouldn't he be perfect? Wouldn't he be perfect to be in
He
Illuminati?
would squeal so fast.
He would. Yeah, he seems like... And he would do it accidentally, wouldn't he?
Yeah. It would just come flying out.
It wouldn't even be like he's trying to blow the lid off.
No, he would just be like talking on his podcast and
Yeah.
it'd be like, I was at the Illuminati meeting the other day.
Right.
And then he'd be like, oh, shit.
Right, and they'd forget to edit it out or whatever. Yeah, that is the other thing. Like, they're letting all these, like, podcasters and stuff into the inner circle because they've got such a voice, but they're not trustworthy with information. No. Like, they're not conditioned to handle this stuff.
No, it's a guy from Road Rules.
No, that's right. That's right. All right, so what? We're thinking 40 days or so, we'll know all the facts?
That's what Troy thinks.
All right, so 40 days or so, we'll know all the facts. That'll be that, and we'll be able to move on.
Within 15 dates of the date of this order, the Director of National Intelligence and the Attorney General shall blah, 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 present a plan to the President for the full and complete release of records relating to the assassination of JFK. Timeline is 45 days for RFK and MLK.
Oh, okay, JFK first.
Yeah.
JFK is the big one.
Yeah, plus they probably only need 15 days because there's like 2 pages left?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost nothing.
It's just the pages that say Ted Cruz's dad did this.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know his name already?
Let's just leave out these 2 pages, give him the rest. And the person who did this is... Why is this the last page? Why wouldn't you give us all the documents?
99% of records have already been made publicly available.
President Trump, I'd implore you not to put these documents at President Trump. We know what's in the documents, President
Why?
Trump. Please don't. Sorry, Ted. They've got to come out.
Gotta do it.
Goodbye, Ted.
And Ted, I haven't seen much of him lately, so I think he's keeping a low profile.
Okay.
But he knows what's coming down the pike.
Travis, when you hear Troy, especially with that little addition,
Yep.
that to me, when we're talking about evidence, proves that this is not a fun theory for Troy. This is Troy's actual theory.
No, he's thought this through.
Yeah, I think so too. And I appreciate that you
Well,
thought this.
because you have to ask yourself, what would
You
you
do.
possibly be hiding? What are we not allowed to see for 60 years?
Right.
Maybe it was just the deep state.
You think it was the deep state?
Maybe they revealed to him that the deep state killed Kennedy. He doesn't want to be. They've tried to kill him twice.
The deep state has? You're counting even that guy in the bushes?
Oh yeah, he was.
That was deep state?
big time.
I mean, he didn't seem like he was overly qualified to be in the deep state, the guy in the bushes.
How'd he know to be there?
Exactly.
I mean, wasn't it Trump's golf course?
How do you know he was
gonna be
playing
golfing
that day?
day?
I mean, he probably wasn't just there that one day, right?
What?
He knew.
I loved both Mike and Troy on either side of me. If you could see, I have Mike at my left ear and Troy at my right ear, and I go, well, he was probably there multiple days, and they just are both... What?
We didn't think that part through. I mean, he was out campaigning, so it's like, how would you know on that specific day that he'd be there?
It was probably there multiple days.
Huh?
Yeah, that's... I do love people just refuse. What if the simplest answer is the answer? I don't think so. Okay, all right. The justification for those documents remaining classified largely stems from efforts to protect the identities of confidential sources who are still alive or might be alive, and protecting methods. So this is trying to protect the people who were like, oh, I saw this, I saw that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I get.
It would be fucked if you're like 80 years old now and they were like, don't worry, tell us what you saw and we'll keep it a secret.
Forever.
And you're like, I literally have 5 years left to be alive. And you're going to tell everybody I did this? You can't wait 5 years until I'm dead.
No. Troy needs to know.
Yeah. I blamed my friend for it. It was a weird time and I blamed my friend and I shouldn't have, and I didn't have any evidence, but it was a weird time. And I would hope that you keep that confidential. No, we will not. Troy has questions.
Oh, well, when you keep secrets, I mean, then people are going to draw their own conclusions.
So you're a secrets are no fun guy?
Oh, yeah.
Good for
Especially
you.
when it comes to our government.
Good for you. Good for
It's
you.
like, you know what I'm saying? If you hide things,
Right.
people are going to draw their own conclusions.
That's right. That's right.
So if we are in the business of you telling the truth always about
Right.
everything, and we're supposed to believe everything you say and every order that you give us, then be clear about everything and be open about what's happened.
I've been on my own fact-finding mission.
Yeah? What do you
Yes.
find?
I'm trying to figure out if Bill Burr and Billy Corgan are really related.
How did they not do any sort of like test or
Troy is, he's like, that's the other one I was looking into.
You know, it's funny you say that,
You know,
Sam.
because where's the hard physical evidence? 23andMe, nothing? In a day where DNA tests have become so commonplace.
I mean, just on appearance, I could see how that would happen.
You mean because they're both bald?
Yeah, I mean,
Both named Bill?
they look like they could be half brothers.
Okay, see, this is where I'm getting twisted. And I put this out. It's so funny, too, right? So I put out the Instagram video on our account yesterday talking about how I've been trying to figure this out. And it is so completely mixed. I mean, everybody's entertained by it, but it's either, well, clearly this is real, or, well, clearly this is fake. And I mean, the thing is, like, you could say, well, yeah, they look like they could be related, Bill Burr and Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. Except, I mean, if you look at Billy Corgan when he had hair and Bill Burr when he had hair, they look nothing alike. They just have round heads, and they're both bald white guys. So
You figured it out?
I think that's it. Yeah. So
Case closed.
It starts with, and I'm interested where you guys land on this because we don't have the answer.
Man, I don't know where I land on this.
Well, let's go through an analysis then.
Okay.
It starts with Billy Corgan, and he was on Howie Mandel's podcast. And he tells this story, which appeared to be in earnest, that Billy Corgan's mother told him that his father, who was kind of in and out of their lives, throughout his childhood, had another family or other families that he would leave. He'd have other families,
Billy Corgan told this.
Billy Corgan said this.
He said this on Howie's podcast like a couple months ago.
Right.
Right.
And Billy said that his mom told him that she thinks that Bill Burr was sired by Billy Corgan's father. That Bill Burr, the comedian, is the child of the man whom she also conceived with and gave birth to Billy Corgan, that they share a father. And, this is a fascinating story. And immediately people go like, I see the resemblance. And there's two things, right?
I didn't see any resemblance.
Well, they both have bald heads.
Right.
And
but
fair complexions.
But you could just do that. Like, you also have a bald head.
Mine's more of an oval, though.
Oh, I see.
Theirs are
It's
round.
the shape of the head.
That's the way I took it.
But they lost their hair early in life.
I mean, if that were...
Well, I'm just saying, he's bald. They're bald. They lost their hair early in life. They both have fair complexions.
Oh, my God. Travis. Travis.
We're brothers.
I got to talk to my dad. Travis and I are brothers. Based on your logic. What color are your eyes, Travis?
Brown.
My dad's are brown, too!
Shit.
What?
I mean, Troy, if that's the basis for somebody being related.
Travis, from this day forward...
half this country.
Well, I'm saying
You will be
physically, but
known.
and then they both have fathers that were,
You are the second to last professional broadcaster, Travis Roberts. Yes. Maybe that's... You ever think, Travis, your mom left when you were in your 20s, yes?
20, yeah.
And I don't mean to bring up the hard times.
That's okay. It happened.
Do you think it's because she was tired of your dad, quote unquote, claiming you when she knew that you were the spawn of that you were a Roberts?
Yes, I do.
You think that you do?
Yes, I do.
Based on the facts you've been presented with this morning, that's where you've landed.
I can't think of any other explanation.
Well, that's it then. Are you mad that Travis is not taking you seriously?
he's a dick.
Well, your reasons are stupid.
Wait a minute. You're saying Travis is a dick? Have you ever known me to be a dick?
Oh, boy.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. I mean, to Travis's credit, the fact that you're like, well, they both lost their hair. It's like,
And they both have fathers that are
And have fair complexion.
yeah, like again, you are reshaping my they're both bald white guys
Lost their
argument.
hair and they're both white, so...
I think you don't realize because you got that full head of hair, you got that beautiful hairline on
Yeah,
you.
man.
You don't. You got to understand something, Troy. Look at me. You're very fortunate. You're blessed and lucky.
Okay.
That hairline that's on top of your head, that's not normal.
Well, you got blessed with other things. I don't know what to tell you.
Nice. I know what you're saying.
Big cock.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's a morning show.
I apologize.
Well, listen. My argument is the only thing they have in common is they're bald white guys. Troy's argument is clearly they're brothers. They're both bald white guys.
And the dad. You're not letting me add the dad.
Well, we don't know, okay?
Of course we do. You hear what they're saying.
What?
What do you mean you're not letting me add the dad?
Well, because you're saying, well, how are we drawing the conclusion that they're brothers? And I said, well, they look similar, and they both have dads that were musicians that were not in their lives that had other families.
So,
I mean, that is what you should lead with.
Okay. Should I rephrase
what about
it?
the fair complexion? So, Billy says this, and obviously it sets the world on fire. But I think a big part of this is everybody wants Bill Burr and Billy Corgan to be brothers.
Of course.
Because everybody loves Bill Burr, and all of us grew up with the Smashing Pumpkins. Like, we love the Smashing Pumpkins. So the idea that a beloved comedian and a beloved frontman could be brothers, and also Bill Burr is grumpy and Billy Corgan is also grumpy.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
that more goes to your point.
That's right.
Like, they're both grumpy, but both very, very skilled. Like, they're both good enough at what they do to get away with being grumpy. Because Bill Burr's got his stand-up, and Billy Corgan did Tonight. It's like, at that point, what are you going to go like, hey, you should be a little more polite? No, you both have carte blanche. So the idea that they could come from the same man is amazing. So whatever, Bill Burr
Billy
does...
Corgan's polite. I've seen him pose with multiple mascots lately.
No. You're thinking of a different band, Smiling Politely.
Oh, okay.
And ask anybody that's been in a band with Billy Corgan if he's a nice guy.
Listen,
Troy.
he has a vision.
I know. I'm just saying.
You got to be along for the ride.
And I think James Iha has no problem.
What about
Jimmy Chamberlain should thank his.
Well, Jimmy Chamberlain had some issues, but what's her name? Darcy?
Oh yeah, she doesn't want anything.
She doesn't
to
have
do with it.
anything to do with it.
Wow, okay, good. Maybe she read the room wrong. Maybe she thought her shit don't stink, And Darcy's great, but she ain't Billy Corgan.
Hey, guess what? If everybody agrees but you, who's usually the wrong
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's ask James.
one? When
Who's an asshole, James? Me or her? Sorry, Darcy.
When I saw them over the summer when they were touring with Green Day, Billy said absolutely nothing on stage. It was all James. He didn't look like he even wanted to be there.
That's great, man.
And I heard that that's the way it was the entire tour.
Well, good. Sing the songs. That's all. I mean,
And that's
fine.
all he did.
That's fine. I don't need your anecdotes. That's fine. Maybe Bruce Springsteen should take a lesson. Less storytelling, more hits.
It was so weird.
Was he in like a costume though, Billy Corgan?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in his the Brood.
Right.
Big heavy black jacket. Sounded great.
All right.
But I feel like maybe he realized very quickly that this wasn't the tour they should have signed up for.
Oh, because it was so 90s nostalgia.
Well, it was it was Green Day playing for 3 hours,
Right.
And Rancid playing before them, and then sandwiched in between was this great band, but probably maybe wasn't getting the love that they would have gotten on a different tour.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I don't think he likes the idea of being on Green Day's tour.
I mean, he signed up for it,
But he probably, in his head, was more like this is a co-headline.
and it's probably
And the way
easy
it
money.
panned out, it was more like, and it was probably great money. It's stadium money.
I mean, yeah, you're playing stadiums. That's the way to go.
But it probably, clearly you were at the show, and it's a Green Day show, yes?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely a Green Day show.
So after Billy Corgan drops this on Howie Mandel's show, and by the way, when Billy Corgan dropped it, it didn't seem like it was a bit. It didn't seem like it was anything but Billy Corgan sharing this story that his mom shared with him.
Yeah, very much came out of nowhere.
Right. And then as it turned out, Billy had told Howie Mandel that story off the air, and Howie was like, "Oh, you got to say it on the pod."
Oh, really?
Yes. So then, Bill Burr last week was on Howie Mandel's podcast, and Bill has always been very, very private about his family and stuff. There have been multiple interviews where stuff comes up, and he really doesn't want to bring up how many siblings he has, this, that. He doesn't like sharing that much because
Especially for publicity.
Yes.
For a click.
Yes. Yeah, he's not a click guy.
No.
So he's sitting there, having a nice conversation with Howie Mandel. Obviously, they've known each other for a very long time through the world of comedy. And all of a sudden, Howie has a surprise for Bill Burr.
You seem to be relaxed.
Oh.
I got something that I planned for you. Bring in the surprise that I did. I did an episode.
T-shirts.
This is man-made. This is man-made. Maybe by one man.
Oh, all right. Who's this guy?
This is Seth. He's our camera guy. And look who's here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Sit down.
You're an asshole.
Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah,
I thought this would be great to bring a family together.
He didn't tell you. He told me you were totally cool with me coming.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
I thought it would be a good surprise.
Can this be edited out, or no?
I can go. I mean, you told me Bill was.
All right, fuck it. No, I'll do it. Did you ever think the fact that I never told that story, that maybe you shouldn't? Did you ever? You know how many fucking emails and crap that I got? I sort of went away from that.
So let me just fill in. Let me just fill in.
Do we talk on a regular basis?
We've never met.
So,
Okay.
there's that first introduction, which is, amazing. Immediately amazing. And, to your credit, Troy, when they're sitting next to each other and I tell you these guys are related, you don't go, really? I don't understand. They look alike.
Look how white they are.
Okay, now you're being
Definitely.
an asshole again. You're being
What?
an asshole again.
No, I don't think so. Although Billy Corgan doesn't have a beard.
He's being an asshole, isn't he? Because you could grow a beard, can't you?
Yeah.
They both wear black too.
Okay, well, that's
Although
you're being
Mike,
an asshole too. That's a choice one makes.
I don't mean to
inheritable
disagree
trait.
with Mike. but Billy Corgan is wearing black jeans and Bill Burr is wearing blue jeans.
Okay.
They're clearly not related.
I mean, if you put Billy Corgan from today, not like today the day, today the song.
Okay.
Think about Ice Cream Truck Billy Corgan, okay? That'll be easier. Ice Cream Truck Billy Corgan and Chappelle Show Bill Burr.
Uh-huh.
Nobody is saying these two are brothers.
Not a chance.
Nobody. Like, I'm talking comb over Billy Corgan, okay? Remember when he had that side part?
Yeah.
This man is not related to Bill Burr.
That doesn't look like Bill Burr. But if he were to shave his head and wear black, and Bill Burr were to also shave his head and wear black, they would look very similar.
And if they were to get older,
they got older, and they got older simultaneously, which is something you got to examine too.
Time.
They
You guys cracked the case.
Okay. Wow, you're
so passive aggressive.
So passive aggressive.
You're so angry. You're mad. You know what you're mad about?
What's that?
You're mad we didn't take your Ted Cruz theory seriously, and now you're mad about this. All I'm trying to do is,
because I'm saying that there's a good chance that they could be brothers. I mean, there's a lot that lines up.
Okay. Whoa.
Jeez.
So Billy Corgan.
So hang on.
Go
before
ahead.
we go to the next clip.
Go ahead.
At this point,
right?
What do you think?
This checks out. I mean, this feels like Howie would absolutely do this
because Howie's known to. He's a prankster.
He does bits.
He does bits.
He loves bits,
and he doesn't like telling people about the bits.
And he also, and I mean, it's one of the reasons why I actually love Howie. That like he has no idea when enough is enough. No. He'll never stop. No. I mean, and you have like even like Stern has told stories about when he was on like America's Got Talent and how he would just do bits in the dressing room, and Howard would be like, "It's enough,"
just for himself,
and Howie would be like, "It's not enough," like because he thought it was funny, and I love that.
So at this point, we think Howie set him up. Is Bill mad?
Yes, okay. Yes, because Bill is a. I think he is a more private person than people realize.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Like, I think if you go back, like, this was years ago, but he did, like, an interview that became notorious on the internet with, like, the H3H3 podcast, and it went really, really poorly. But one of the reasons it went so poorly was because Ethan Klein was asking him about growing up and his siblings and stuff like that, and Bill clearly... not a bit, not a routine, did not want to get into all the specifics of his family because he didn't want it out there on the internet. He wanted them to remain private people, So the idea that he wouldn't want this out there and that it's very Bill Burr for him to go, like, look at Billy Corgan and go, like, you wouldn't think,
yes,
I never told this story. You wouldn't think maybe you shouldn't either.
That feels like a very Bill Burr thing to say. Just knowing his cadence for the last 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, do
you think Billy Corgan thought like everybody's in on this because he was like, he didn't tell you that I was coming?
I don't think Billy Corgan intended to ambush Bill Burr.
Agreed.
If that's what you're asking.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, the thing about Billy Corgan, and people get the wrong idea about Billy Corgan. I think like it's because he gets so angry all the time, but despite all his rage, he is still just a rat in a cage.
That's a good point.
And people forget that.
Yeah.
All right, let's. This is.
I noticed they're both wearing rings on their ring finger.
You're such an asshole.
Just pointing
Isn't
out.
he a dickhead?
I'm trying to.
They're both married.
Trying to boost Troy's theory.
We deal with this every single day.
Do you try to explain it to like your fiance? Like you have no idea what I have to deal with.
I just deal with this fucking asshole every day.
Sam, do you see it?
No, it is the same finger. Yeah.
It's uncanny.
No, it's the. I think they're wedding rings.
It's like they're looking in a mirror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Hopefully they do that Doink the Clown at WrestleMania 9 thing where they start looking at each other and put their hands up and stuff. Yeah, this is where we get clarification that Howie Mandel may have set up Billy Corgan under false pretenses for this ambush.
We haven't called me.
I thought this would go someplace. I thought this would go like...
I mean, if you'd see the barrage of texts I got this morning, you got to come in, Bill will love it, he's cool with it, and the whole thing.
All right, so I'm not upset with you then, because I thought that this was like your idea.
No, he totally set me up.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was more important to bring
You know,
family
you walk
together.
through the door. How's your wife? My wife's pregnant. How's your wife?
Yeah, he's
How
having
are
a
the
baby.
kids?
You have your
You
family's
want some
growing,
free
Bill.
underwear?
She's
You know?
late.
That's
third,
funny.
Third semester.
That's funny.
Trimester.
He doesn't even give a shit. This is the thing that throughout my career, the amount of people like that have done this to me, and then you know what's funny? This is gonna probably maybe make us better or maybe fuck us up, but like I can guarantee you, about 20 minutes after we walk out of here, he's not gonna remember.
Remember what? Trimester.
He's gonna be standing there gazing with his arms behind his back, you know, looking at his YouTube plaque. Yeah. How are your kids? Do they like you as a dad?
They do. I'm an old
His
dad.
don't.
You were talking about old dad. I'm an old dad.
His kids don't like him.
She just called me a dick. This is
we're
just
here.
uncomfortable. I thought this would be a warm.
You're always trying to bring families together. That's what you do.
I thought I did something good.
People
and
that
apparently
don't
I'm an
want to
asshole.
be brought together.
It's not that I don't want to. It's just like this. I don't think that this was the situation. But I am happy though that I have evolved as much as a person that I'm able to sort of like fucking handle it. Because I don't want to like get mad at you
I appreciate
because of
that.
our dad or whatever. But like,
Why don't you talk more? And Sonny, why don't you play some beautiful mood like family? Just
dude, you are such a dick.
I mean, regardless, it's great. And I will say this, whether this is a joke or legit or whatever, I do not think Howie Mandel is sorry when he said, I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Also, Billy Corgan could be playing this up because he comes from that world of wrestling. Like, he knows how to, like, you know, just improv.
Yes. And loves the work.
Yeah.
And it seems like Bill believes that they could be. Like when he said our dad.
Yeah, he didn't seem like,
Well, he seems like he's saying straight up, like, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
You know, which is the first we've gotten sort of any kind of confirmation on that
So that needs to be taken into consideration as well.
by the court.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go to Justin in Florida. It's 866-969-1969. What's up, Justin?
Hey Sam, huge fan. Especially, I'm a huge fan of Troy, and I'm here to defend him real fast.
Good.
Oh, that's
Good,
good.
'cause he's really getting raked over the coals this morning.
Yeah, you got to leave him alone a little bit. But just, do you guys remember when Joe Rogan just casually dropped that Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance was his cousin? Like, stranger things have happened.
That's true. He said, as
Yeah,
a matter of
that's
fact,
all
I
I'm saying.
believe Joe Rogan said the reason he said that was because he said, you know, when he was young, that one day his uncle took his cousin to the city. And we realized, you know, that this is Gerard Way that he was talking about. I forget who they were trying to see. Do you remember who they were going off to see?
I can't off the top of my head.
Okay, don't remember. Thank you, Justin.
Oh, alrighty, guys. Bye.
Was Joe Rogan okay with that?
Yeah, I think well. Okay, listen.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. We're gonna get distracted and play Name That Tune all morning. This part is my favorite part, and this feels like this is a very Howie Mandel thing to do. He realizes the situation has gotten awkward, so he decides that he and his daughter should leave their own podcast and just allow Bill Burr and Billy Corgan to just sit alone in the studio with the cameras and mics rolling to kind of hash this out amongst each other. Music is still playing.
Anyway,
So, what was your relationship with Dad?
it was difficult. It was difficult.
What did he tell you he did for a living?
He was a musician, traveling, you know, kind of club musician. Never got above the clubs.
Well, he played piano, saxophone.
No, just guitar.
Well, in my house.
Oh, sorry.
Are you serious?
Oh,
He told me he couldn't play guitar because his fingers were too fat. All right. Well, yeah, it was fucking weird, but you know what's funny though is if we were born during the internet, like he wouldn't. I don't feel like you can get away with that anymore. Like at some point, it did become funny to me that he had multiple families. There was something like wild about that, having to just trying to sustain one family. I'm kind of forgetting we're on a podcast right now.
So now they're just trying to
I think it's incredible.
put the pieces together. I think it's incredible too.
I feel like both these guys believe this.
Yes.
Yeah. Like going like this is our upbringing. And I mean,
because Bill is not the type of person to just go along with something for no reason, you know? Like he'd just shut it down if he didn't really believe that.
That's true. And I mean, I have people close to me that I'm not sure are ready to be outed on the radio yet who have this exact same scenario.
You talking about Troy?
No, Troy. I think your father only had one family.
God.
Wait, you do?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
What do you know?
No, not about these two. I'm just saying like that grew up and then later realized that their father had two families.
Oh.
And like at one point like their dad brought home another girl and she lived with the family.
I know who it is.
And like they all lived
really?
They all lived as a family. Like this is just your new sister. And then this person found out later on.
Yeah, it's never a dull moment there, huh?
No. It's a wild time.
But that person's not ready to talk about it yet.
I don't know. I haven't okayed it, so I don't want to put them on blast.
And we won't talk about it.
But they know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not even like this. And this is kind of, once you process that, in my experience, in the way other people have processed it, once you process that, this is kind of like how you just go, man, now that we're removed and we have these other adult lives, that was all pretty fucked up, huh? That's a wild thing to have happened.
Yeah.
So this podcast keeps going. At one point, Billy Bush walks in.
Yeah, now what's going on?
Well, Billy Bush walked in because I guess Howie Mandel is a podcast landlord in L.A., which I didn't realize. Howie Mandel, I don't know. I feel like there was Howie Mandel was hot in the 80s in stand-up.
And 90s.
And the 90s with Bobby's World. And then took a dip after Bobby's World. Like, you didn't really hear from Howie Mandel between Bobby's World going off and Deal or No Deal started.
Okay, I was going to say, let's not forget about Deal or No Deal.
That was the relaunch. That was kind of but I feel like that dead period, not dead, but
I would say that's fair.
Yeah. I feel like that changed him. And now he's like, oh shit, like, I have to be right. Because now, I mean, nothing, and obviously he has obsessive issues, but like nothing is enough. Like, he's like, yeah, we're doing Deal or No Deal. We're doing America's Got Talent. We're doing this podcast. We're doing stand-up. And upon watching this, I realized that he's got like a whole space in Los Angeles where he rents out podcast studios to people. That's one of the things that he does now. And I guess Billy Bush is launching his own podcast.
And he was coming in to record his podcast.
Right, he was there.
This is not a separate podcast that Howie does with Billy.
No, this is just Billy's own podcast.
Okay.
And so he was there, he was recording it, and then Howie, I guess, sent in Billy Bush to join them.
Now, Troy, his name is also a variation of Bill.
Is he a brother too?
That's what I'm asking you.
Well, you know what? That's an impossibility.
Well,
Tell me
hair.
why. Okay.
He has hair.
All right.
Which is why
I'm an idiot.
you know what I do sometimes?
What's that?
I look at my brother
Uh-huh.
and I go, you come from a different man than our father. And you know how I know that?
Huh.
He's still got his hair. I go, this is impossible.
Full head of hair.
He's got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
I go, nope, sorry. I don't think so.
I'll still call you bro, but...
And my brother goes, when we were growing up, people thought we were twins. I go, I don't think so. Look at what's on top of your head. Sorry. I'm going to take Dad on this one.
I am clearly bald.
You were sired by another. I am bald. And he go, but our dad has hair. I go, that doesn't matter. It comes on the mother's side. So, so then there's a whole arc in this conversation where Billy Bush is talking to Bill Burr and Billy Corgan, which the idea of just putting Billy Bush in there because his name is also Billy is the most Howie Mandel thing I've ever heard. Like, if there was ever any doubt as to what his thinking was, it was, I see another person named Billy. Oh, you should go in.
I love Howie.
So then they have a conversation. Howie Mandel joins him, and this is how they wrap up the podcast.
Leg. No. I love you all.
Howie,
Thank you, Bills. Thank
Don't
you.
touch
I always want to. I'm a hold
That's it. We did stuff, and we brought families together, and we promoted a new show.
And I realized how much more of a fucked up dude than you really are.
It's been a revelation.
All right, so how does this work? Do you leave first? Like, I don't want to be like fucking. Oh, God, with the dry ice.
Guys with hair first, and then one at a time.
We fade out. We'll fade out.
Okay. Well, there you
Smoke
go.
machine.
All right.
The painful family moment that I've not, been running from a long.
Close. And we're out. We're out.
Jesus.
And then he puts up a picture of Bill Burr and Billy Corgan together. And also in that picture, Troy, to your credit, Billy Corgan has a beard, which he did not have in the podcast. And with the beard, they both have teeth.
Sam.
They do.
Sounds like something I would say.
They do both have teeth, right?
Yeah, they look similar.
Yeah, they do. That's right. And so now the only other piece of evidence that we have in this whole saga is Bill Burr was on Rich Eisen's show, I think yesterday. And Rich Eisen did the responsible thing. And he brought this up to get the moment from Bill Burr.
Well, that was my way of just kind of bringing up Billy Corgan to you minutes ago when I asked if Ed Harris is going to go on a podcast and ask if you're acting like
is
your
that
brother.
what that was?
That's
Yeah,
what that
yeah,
was.
yeah. Well,
was that? People want to know. Were you really pissed?
Listen, I don't talk about
your stuff.
Yeah, I don't. And so Howie did what he did.
Yeah.
Because he is a Hollywood whore. And he doesn't care what happens. That he just didn't.
Okay.
You know, he could have said something, and he just
threw it
brings
out there.
up all that weirdness. Billy's fine. I mean, that's the first time I ever met him, but that was fine or whatever.
He's a
But
diehard
I
sports
did
fan,
not
by the way.
appreciate what Howie did. No, not
okay.
at all.
All right. So
No,
then,
but he's like Howie, so he's sort of hard to hate. You know what I mean? How do you hate a germaphobe? He's not threatening. He just walks with his arms in so he doesn't rub against curtains that he owns. That's the weirdest thing about him. He's a strange man.
He came on this show and he just bounced off the walls. Literally.
That's kind of it. Rich Eisen lets him off the hook because unlike Howie Mandel, Rich Eisen does not have a hostile show.
No.
So look, now we got to figure out if it's real or not, and
if what's real, if they are brothers, or if the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Okay.
The whole thing, and I've watched it multiple times, obviously, and I've analyzed it, and growing up watching as much pro wrestling as I have. The misconception is that people will think you're more gullible to the work. But the truth is that you're more likely to call something like a bit or fake than you would be otherwise. I'm more skeptical, I think, because I'm so aware that, when you're watching wrestling, it's all just put on for entertainment. So half the time, Trump signing executive orders, I go, oh, this whole thing's a work, everything feels that way to me. So I try to analyze this from a place of zero, without you can't get away from the biases completely, but without too much of a bias. And the more I kind of watched it, the more I laid out the facts and everything. And if you've got theories, 866-969-1969. I think that the truth lied in Billy's original story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that story was true. I think Billy Corgan was told by his mother that she thinks Bill Burr is your brother. I think the resemblance is there. I think it took off like wildfire. I think that whole thing is true.
Okay.
I think...
You don't think it could have been the seeds of a long con?
No, that's when people start going crazy with their... That's when... Oh, Mr. Conspiracy Theory starts giving people too much credit.
Right, you're pointing behind you.
No, I'm stretching.
And just so the audience knows, I'm to your left, so it was not at me.
Mike is also to my left.
Yeah. Okay.
So, no. I'm just saying that's giving it too much credit, I think. That's unrealistic. The amount of planning and forethought that would be involved in that just for a goof.
And for Bill to go along with it, ultimately.
Right.
I agree.
Now, I think... Bill is promoting his special, I think, that's going to be on Hulu.
Yes.
Right. I think there is a good chance that Billy Corgan happened to be in town when Bill Burr was doing Howie's podcast. And Howie said, it would be great if we did this.
I'm with you on that.
I think Bill is in on it.
You think Bill Burr is in on it?
I think Bill Burr is in on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bill Burr, we forget, is a fabulous actor.
He's very good.
I mean, and not only is he good, but you go, why would Bill Burr do this? Well, Wait till you hear this.
Okay.
He said in other interviews that he is trying to get his acting chops up for when he performs on Broadway with Odenkirk and Kieran Culkin and Michael McKean. Like, he's looking at that like this is a challenge. This is real.
Michael McKean's in that too?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
This is real acting. And I feel like they're
Every night.
And I feel like and he's, this is who he doesn't want to be the comedian that's hanging out with these actors. He wants to be a real actor. And he's done, ever since Breaking Bad. It's like, oh, there's a real craft here. I think that there's a good chance that Bill Burr said, you know what? This is good timing to do this. This would be good acting exercise for me. And I think that there were a couple of little moments with Billy Corgan where I said that doesn't ring true.
Like what?
Just the way he was reacting, the way he would say certain things, like how quick he was to throw Howie under the bus for setting him up. There's just little timing things where I said could be real.
Maybe he didn't want the heat on him.
Might not want the heat on him, 100%. But my instinct was, this guy's working right now.
Okay.
And then the more Bill went into it, I said, he's not that angry. And he did do a great job of explaining that by saying, I'm glad I'm developed to the point where I can actually handle this.
Yeah.
Right? And that is true. Like, that's been part of his stand-up. He's talked about doing that.
And you're not going to, blow up on a podcast because that's just going to be negative.
Right, or walk out or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of beyond that.
So I can see why he would, lower his emotions.
But ultimately, I look at the venue, right? And like months ago, there was that clip that went everywhere of Dana White walking out on Howie Mandel's podcast. And people took it seriously. People were like, whoa, there's something going on with Howie and Dana. Dana is so fed up with podcasts. This is amazing. What happened here? The minute I saw that, I said, this is a Howie bit. The minute I saw Dana White walking out on Howie Mandel's podcast, I believe that 100%. They've never, I don't think, clarified it one way or the other. Maybe they haven't. I just didn't see it.
I don't think so.
But I don't think they have. But
I don't think Howie has any want to do that.
Exactly. That's the beauty of
this
Howie.
is what happened. Yeah.
That's the beauty. That's why I like the fact. Like, these are all theories. If I knew for a fact, I would never say because I wouldn't want to ruin it. But I think that Dana, like, he had Dana for 5 minutes. Dana's like, I'm sorry, I just don't have an hour. He goes, okay, what if we did this and just made this moment?
I agree.
Because Howie loves stuff like that. And even if Howie's in the barrel, he doesn't mind it. I think that he pitched this to Bill. I think Bill decided to do it for Howie, for Billy Corgan, because he thought it would be fun. Because there's never an explanation as to when and how we actually figured out that this was true. We never,
What do you mean?
Like, we never get to the explanation of when and how we realized this was not just a story that Billy Corgan's mom told him, but this was a reality that both Billy Corgan and Bill Burr knew.
Well, what
to
if they
be
don't know?
accurate.
What if they? What
Well,
if
it sounded like they knew. The whole conversation.
It sounds like they have known the same story.
The whole conversation they were talking, like, there was no what if. There was no, well, with me, did that happen with you? It was, Dad did this, Dad did that.
Yeah, like, to me, it sounds like they have both long had this established, like, reality. But I don't think there's any, like,
But they never spoke.
No, because why would you?
It's Billy Corgan. If you found out Billy Corgan was your brother, you wouldn't want to
If
speak
I
to him?
found out Billy Corgan was my brother, I'd be on the first plane to Chicago.
Oh, yeah. I'd learn the keyboards.
Yeah. I'd be like, listen, I know Darcy left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm ready. Also, anything you need for wrestling, I know you have a
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I booked the territory, too.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Be sick. Yeah, no, I and here's the thing.
But who knows when they found out? Like, maybe Bill found out, a few years ago, and he's busy with his own family and
just avoiding it.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, like, maybe that's true, and okay, it is true. I'll get to that when I get to that.
It's possible. Here's the problem.
I have a hard time believing that Bill was in on it.
Well, you want it to be true as well.
No, I
want it to be true. I want it to be true. I want it to be real. I want it to be real because the moment is so good and it's so well done. And I want it to be real because you want this to be, you want them to be brothers. But
Bill's just not a guy that just like goes along with things just because it'll be funny.
Nobody loves Howie, clearly.
Yeah.
He clearly loves Howie. This is a good bit. You know, and I feel like it would have been much more hostile had he actually, like, Bill Burr is also not a guy who likes to be taken, you know, like, he doesn't like pranks.
No,
Bill Burr's not a guy, like, if we were like, oh, let's do a new bit on Sam Roberts show here where we prank the comics, we'd probably put it on hold if Bill Burr was coming in.
Yes.
He wouldn't like that.
Yeah, but I don't think Howie thinks like that. Like, I don't think Howie's like, oh yeah, no, I love pranks, but Bill Burr's off limits. I think he's more like, I love pranks. Bill Burr hates pranks. Let's do a prank on him.
I also feel like Bill would have talked to Billy Corgan, and they would have decided to leave the room. I don't think Bill Burr is sitting in the room with nobody else in it. Like, if the host leaves the studio, I don't think Bill Burr is taking it upon himself to keep the show going.
Unless he just realizes that in that moment, this is what I have to do to keep this going. I don't want to look like an asshole.
Possible. Rocky in Houston?
Hey, just between the two Bills, like, wouldn't there be a photo of their father, and wouldn't one of the Bills go, "Is this your fucking dad"?
Well,
wouldn't it be that
so that's why it was so interesting to me. They were both, throughout this conversation, acting like they both already knew this to be true. There was no exploration. But they also said they had never spoken to each other.
About the hair theory, they say you get your hair from your mother's father. So
Right.
the hair theory about the same dad might not, you know.
So they may have the same... So the father of the mother may be the same. They may have the same maternal grandfather.
No, what I'm saying is that their hair is different because they have two different mothers, is what I'm saying.
Well, it would
What he's
be,
saying is Troy's an idiot for even bringing up the hair thing.
I think what he's saying is, wouldn't it be interesting if they were actually related because Bill Burr's maternal grandfather's sister
I'm already lost.
is Billy Corgan's maternal grandfather's sister. I don't know. I think I'm lost.
And that's
too.
how we got the Schwartz.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how we got the Schwartz.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Later. What do you think, Troy?
I totally forgot about the Dana White thing. That obviously was a work.
Right. Thank you.
You present an excellent theory.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't see Bill going along with that. Bill Burr.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, it kind of feels far-fetched.
Why, you don't think he's fun? He did sketches on Chappelle's show.
He got paid for that. That was his job.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to put himself in any sort of situation that would make him seem vulnerable in that kind of way.
Great point, Troy.
But he wouldn't be vulnerable if he was in on it.
I don't know if he, yeah.
Because that means because it's not true.
But he's coming off as vulnerable.
He's coming off as, it's very different.
And he doesn't want to be
perceived. Does he not want to be vulnerable, or he doesn't want to be perceived as
vulnerable? He doesn't want to
vulnerable?
be perceived as somebody getting one up on him.
So you're saying the perception is what he's avoiding, not the vulnerability itself.
Yeah, because unless you come out and say, haha, it was
and also
I was in on it.
Your theory of like, I don't think Bill Burr would want all this attention while he's promoting his special.
I never said that.
Troy was kind of hinting at it.
Oh, that's Troy.
Libby in Oregon?
Oh, boy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, man.
It's the other woman that listens to you. I heard Lou yesterday.
Oh, what? Yeah.
And I'm not.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm the big fat lady from Oregon.
That's
remember?
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're the heavyset woman.
Yep. No, I want to talk about conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think this is kind of kind of a work. Like, that's a word I learned from you.
Thank you.
Sammy.
Thank you.
When Jim left, because I subscribe to all of your stuff. I love all you boys. You know this.
Great.
And I was listening to his show yesterday, and he said, I already knew who the new co-host was going to be.
Of what?
And
of this?
Of your show. Yeah.
I hope someone tells me.
I know. And then
I would love to
he was like, well, he was like, I knew that this was the writing was on the wall. I just want to know your take on this. He goes, I knew that the writing was on the wall, blah, blah, blah. And that I knew who they were going to have as a new co-host, and I was fired. Did he not take the job, or was he fired?
I mean, I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask him. I thought he didn't take. He said he didn't take the job.
So I want to believe you, Sammy, but are you working me?
First of all, like,
hey, Sam, prove yourself.
I'm not the one negotiating with anybody. I'm not the one that is making the decisions here. No, I mean, he told me what he told you, that he didn't take the deal.
Yeah, well, he literally said plain out that they came back to him on vacation and they were like, "We're not renewing you." So he was.
Well, I don't know. I have to listen to the podcast. But I mean, as far as nobody's told me about a co-host, so that'll be news to me. I mean, if he knows, he should say it on the podcast so we can prepare.
Yeah, maybe, but why didn't you call
Sam
him?
can at least reach out to the co-host.
We've talked. We've spoken. It's not like we're not speaking. We've spoken.
Okay, all right, yeah, because I feel like there's like I miss both of you guys together. I love that it's called Sam Roberts Show. I like that it's not the Sam Roberts Show.
See,
I think it's cute.
Thank you. I try to be cute.
But I do think that it's odd that he went on, like, he's been on other shows but hasn't been on yours, and so I'm like, I hope that there's no bad blood there.
No,
like
not
Billy
that I know
Corgan
of.
And Bill Burr.
Yeah, no, not that I know of. And I would think that he would tell me if there was, since we've spoken. So I would say no.
Hey, by the way, there's bad blood.
Yeah. I would say no. There doesn't appear to be any bad blood between myself and Jim. Now, I don't know Jim's feelings towards Sirius. That's a different deal. But
all right. Well, I don't care about them anyway. But the other thing too I wanted to talk about is nobody cares about I listen to your show because I'm on the West Coast. So I listen to it later, and I listen. The only thing that I care about during the football halftime show is it Sammy Bram Muffin's take is the halftime show, the Super Bowl halftime show. Are you going to put money on if they say pedophile?
My money's on them saying football. Let me tell you something about this football halftime show. They're saying pedophile.
Okay.
That word is being said. Kendrick's going to say it. The audience is going to say it with him. Everyone's going to celebrate it. It's being said.
Everybody wants it.
Everybody wants it. That's why they hired him. It's in the clean version of the song. It's being said.
Okay, what's a realistic bet to put on it? Because you are the bet master.
$20,000.
Yeah, whatever you have in your bank account.
Troy says,
20 grand. Okay.
Troy says 20K.
Got it.
All right, thank you, Libby.
I'm doing it right now. All right, guys, love you. And
Love
I'm
you.
still going to be the only 2 women listeners that listen.
Okay,
all right,
thank you, Libby.
bye.
Did she just refer to herself as 2 listeners because she's heavy set?
Yeah, it's because she's so fat.
There's Lou, too.
Yes, that's who she meant.
Yeah. Rick in Wisconsin.
I wish it was just Lou.
Sammy,
What's
I
up?
always thought Bill Burr's dad was named Frank, and he ran an airline.
From F is for yeah, but listen, he said that show was what's real anymore? The Howie Show or F is for Family? I'm trying to figure this out.
Right, because Bill said that was based.
Yeah. Thank you, Rick. You're 100% right. We'd have to then look past all the F is for Family evidence. Mark in Mississippi.
Yeah, I was just going to say there is a clip with Dana White saying that was a bit between him and Howie Mandel. I don't remember where I seen it, but I did see it.
Boom. Lends to my theory. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, unfortunately, I look at this and I see it. I mean, it's still fun. It's still great content. But that's my take. Travis, you refuse to believe it's a complete...
Well, I don't refuse to believe.
But you choose not to believe.
No, my opinion...
Right.
...is that I don't think Bill was in on it. I definitely think Howie set it up.
Okay.
I definitely think that he railroaded Bill.
Okay. Which is very possible.
Which is a very Howie thing to do.
Very Howie thing to do.
I don't think Billy Corgan was in on it.
Okay.
I think most of this is coming from a place of honesty.
Wow.
I think Billy Corgan, when he walked in and he said, "Oh, he didn't tell you," I think he's being honest about it.
So you think Billy Corgan and Bill Burr have the same dad?
I mean, they certainly appear to. Okay, let me say this: if I'm believing everything else that I'm saying, then I do have to believe that they.
That's right.
Have this, yeah. Yes.
That's
so then I would have to say yes.
That's the way this logic table
because it's
works.
they're either in on it or they're not.
Right.
Yes. So yes.
Kyle in Vermont.
Hey, hasn't Billy talked about Bill Burr? Yikes! Hasn't Burr talked about his father being a dentist?
I believe so.
I believe it was even mentioned on the
podcast.
podcast.
That doesn't exactly scream life on the road, spreading seed.
No, but he said, thank you, Kyle. I think he did. I think you're right, Troy. I think on the Howie podcast, he said his dad said that he was a dentist to his family, but maybe he would disappear for, I don't know. There's just a lot of little, very, very, very small red flags that to me go, we're just having fun here, which I love fun.
You could be right about that.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, listen, let's take a break. I've given you all plenty to think about, okay? So you guys come to your own conclusions. We're going to take a break. Later on this morning, we've got Zach Amico and Luis J. Gomez coming in. It's going to be fabulous. Stay right there. We'll be back.
We'll be right back with Sam Roberts Show. We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
I've been putting all my passwords in to ask if it's a good, is this a good password? They go, yeah, what's the next one? I go, well, here's the next one.
And you tell them specifically what it's for?
Yeah. And they go, it depends. What's your social security? And I tell it. And it is interesting. So like this, it's kind of wild, the ripple effect that this DeepSeek company has had. They came, out of nowhere. I heard about them for the first time yesterday. And I think it just launched, right? It just said, here's DeepSeek, and it's this AI thing that's very similar to what's it called? ChatGPT and all that stuff. But this Chinese company did it, and it took them 2 months? $5 million in 2 months?
$5 million, and I think the headline is they didn't need to use these incredible state-of-the-art NVIDIA chips that we've all been told, well, yeah, I think AI like this is only billions and billions of dollars.
It's twofold. It's NVIDIA saying our chips are absolutely essential to the future of AI, and it's people who produce AI going, by the way, it's going to cost billions and billions of dollars, so we're going to need all that money. And then this Chinese company, DeepSeek, goes, well, we didn't use any of those chips at all. And by the way, it also takes years to develop, right? Years and billions. And they go, well, we did it in a couple of months with $5 million. And everybody's using it, and it's working perfectly. Although there are some odd censorship issues if you look into it at all. Yeah. There's a couple of questions that the Chinese AI does not particularly want you to be asking, and they don't have answers to it, unfortunately.
But that's also neither here nor there.
No, maybe they don't have the answers.
Yeah. The main thing is hey, look what is possible.
What's possible. Yeah, what's possible. And
maybe we're overvaluing the most valuable company in the world.
Which is not good for anybody. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for anybody. The idea that this whole thing has been yeah, you could trust us in Silicon Valley and we're going to need billions of dollars. And it feels .com bubble-y. It feels like the truth behind everything. And odds are, if this is true, that the truth behind everything is something that's been known for a long time. It's just a matter of how long can we keep the party going? How long can we make it so that it is this way, so that investors keep sinking in money? But instead of this just being a DeepSeek party where everybody goes, oh man, look at what they've accomplished. This is just good news for DeepSeek and bad news for nobody. NVIDIA went down 18% almost, 17.9, 18%, and a bunch of other tech companies also plummeted.
That was all red.
The value yesterday because it's less about what technology this company has come out with and more about this whole thing has been built on a ruse. This has been a house of cards the entire time. It says U.S. chip giant NVIDIA suffered a record wipeout. And by the way, NVIDIA was that was the stock. Anybody would tell you, if you're getting started, this is the stock to get into. Everybody needs it. And a lot of that was because future technologies that are clearly in the direction that we're going in, we were under the assumption, needed the technology that NVIDIA has. They suffered a record wipeout on Monday after Chinese startup DeepSeek upended the tech sector. And the rout cost its CEO, Jensen Huang, more than $20 billion in a single day. DeepSeek said it built its new AI model in just 2 months for less than $6 million, a fraction of the training cost of its U.S. rivals, and without access to NVIDIA's powerful pricey computer chips, which are subject to the U.S. government's export controls. Whew. Yeah, it plunged nearly 17% as the market reckoned with the possibility that the world's largest supplier of AI chips could face less demand as models get more efficient. I mean, it's just that quick. It's literally just that quick. Billions and billions and billions of dollars.
The largest single-day company decline in the history of the stock market.
And it doesn't actually have anything to do with what the company is doing. It only has to do with what another company was able to do without the company.
Yeah. Hey, we might not need you.
Right,
actually.
right. So it wasn't ever based on the fact that NVIDIA is really good. It was based on the fact that NVIDIA is really good and also the only game in town. It erased a whopping $589 billion of NVIDIA's market capitalization, the largest single-day company decline in the history of the U.S. stock market. They already held the record after a 9% last September, caused by a $279 billion value to evaporate. I mean, it really is. You can't have confidence in anything anymore. The stock market is completely gambling.
Well, yeah.
Meanwhile, I mean, you say, well, yeah, but there are a lot of people that don't look at it that way. There are some companies that you're like, okay, if you're day trading, it's gambling. But a company like NVIDIA, I can put my money in, and that's my kids' college funds. That's my, that's my retirement. That's this, that's that.
Alphabet was down 4%.
Oh, not Alphabet.
Microsoft was down 2.14%.
I use the Alphabet every day.
No.
Can't believe that.
No, there's still value in those letters.
Oh, all right.
Don't
Thank
worry.
God. Thank God.
Yeah, it's wild.
Google went down too?
Yeah. Google is Alphabet, bro.
Not Alphabet and Google.
No, same thing.
Why is Google going down? Google/Alphabet. Why is Google going down?
Because they've invested heavily in AI.
Right.
You don't see that every time you Google something?
That's true.
It's like, hey, here's the AI version.
I think I'll just skip this paragraph.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
go to
you.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, and it's so funny too. Here's the AI version. Also, the first paragraph on Wikipedia is exactly the same as the AI version. Have we considered for a second that most AI is just taking the first paragraph off Wikipedia? Like, let's consider, just because it goes faster. It does go faster than just Googling Wikipedia. Yeah, it really is interesting that AI is becoming such an understandable thing that people are realizing. Like, I think a lot of times you see it with new technology that the crazy valuation comes in like gatekeeping. Mm-hmm. Like these guys figured it out, and then they hire all the best AI scientists into their company, so that most people don't realize this is achievable without all this technology, without all this investment. Like, we want to control the narrative on this. And then I think probably a lot of other companies that are aware of this, at least in the States, go along with it because they can all make a lot of money. But then all it takes is one company like this to go like, by the way.
We were too busy watching Boy Meets World and Saved by the Bell.
That's right. We were worshiping Sean from Boy Meets World. Meanwhile, Minkus was working with the Chinese the whole time.
Now look where we are.
Yes. Minkus, on the other hand. See, Corey thought he had won the whole thing by taking Topanga. But no, Minkus was going to destroy everything. I'll get you. Screech, forget about it. Remember that episode when Lisa Turtle admitted she had a crush on Zach?
I remember.
It destroyed Screech, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what Screech did?
Came up with DeepSeek?
He came up with DeepSeek.
Yep.
He moved to China. He came up with DeepSeek. He said, I'm going to take out their whole tech sector.
I'll be back for the college years.
Yeah, that's right. There's a spot in the college years? All right, I'll come back. Yeah. To see you just can't have faith in anything, really. Especially when you don't fully understand it, because you just wait for something like this to come along.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's relatively new tech.
Especially to be used on a consumer level, it's extremely new tech. It's crazy new. And also, now DeepSeek has become a thing that everybody knows about because it's in all these articles. It's the company that did all this to this and that. But that means people are going to start using DeepSeek. And
seems safe.
No, I mean, we literally just almost outlawed TikTok. And now it's like, well, DeepSeek doesn't even need to hunt your information down. You would just give it all to them.
Yeah, but you don't even need TikTok anymore. You can just use that red whatever.
That's true. That's true.
I learned Mandarin on that. Real quick.
Yeah. No, that was bad news for them. What was that? Red letter?
Red
envelopes? Red stamps? Red writing?
Red rum.
Red rum? Red rum. Whatever. They were really posed when TikTok was banned. Red Note. When TikTok was banned for 9 hours, they really thought it was going to be the rise of Red Note. And people were ready for it. And then TikTok was like, no, we're back. JK. And they were like, okay. Yeah, so I mean, that's the other thing. Like, how do you recover from this? This feels like a cat's out of the bag scenario. Like, unless this DeepSeek thing is completely fake, which it doesn't seem to be.
No, it's not fake.
This feels very cat's out of the bag. Not like, this isn't like we could just, kind of move over into this direction, switch lanes over here. Like, we've been building a highway that leads to nowhere. We have to go over in a completely different direction.
No, the highway still leads to somewhere. There's just a quicker way to get there. And it's costs much less.
I was talking about the NVIDIA highway, not the AI highway. Because you're right. The AI highway, as it turns out, is not a tolled road.
No.
Trump calls China's AI DeepSeek breakthrough a wake-up call, but positive if true. Well, yeah, because he's not going to have any loyalty to these tech companies. He's like, if we can do the same thing for, millions as opposed to billions, that's great.
That's basically what he said.
Yeah, of course. Of course he is. I mean, I think he might have to consider that if we've been investing money into lies, it might not be that great for the economy, but I'm sure he has. I'm sure he understands.
He's on it.
He's got it. He's got it all figured out.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah. I don't know. Now, does DeepSeek do the fun images too?
Oh, I don't know. Like, make a cat a flying cat?
Yeah, exactly.
Make a dog a flying dog?
Yeah. Does it take people and kind of like...
I see those are the top 2 things you could do with Grok on Twitter.
Flying dogs and flying cats?
Yeah.
Now, do they have wings or do they have... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've never seen a flying cat before, and I wanted to see one.
That's why they do that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, will it take like images of people and just kind of smooth them out so they kind of look animated, but not really?
That's the only thing I use on my iPhone. That cleanup feature is awesome.
Yeah.
Wipe that shiny spot right off my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it still feels like we're, in terms of actual use of AI, we're a little bit farther away than I think people realize. It's just not reliable. And also the thing about DeepSeek is the idea that they're kind of catering it to what the Chinese government wants it to be. Like, if you ask questions about things that have happened in Chinese history that are not positive, it'll come back. I saw one video where it had the answer, and then real quick, it just all erased, and a thing came up that said, we're sorry, we do not have this information.
Oh.
That is a little nerve-wracking. That AI companies can be like, yeah, no, we're the best, except...
Well, yeah, of course.
We can do this little thing here and that little thing here. Because people use it as a tool, They don't use it as knowing that there's guidelines to it. But I think it's great. What can I tell you? I think it's great. I love DeepSeek. I think DeepSeek is it. Do you use OpenAI? Like, do you use ChatGPT and all that stuff?
Nope.
I use it sometimes to make, I would try to make a picture, but it would always fuck up, so I give up on it.
Nope, I don't want it.
You don't like it at all? You're afraid of AI?
I'm not afraid of AI.
You sound scared.
I'm not scared. I'm never scared. I ain't never scared.
I ain't never scared.
You bone crusher?
I'm very concerned about where all this is leading.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, right?
Fuck it. You can't stop it.
YOLO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah. No, it is there. It does seem to be a slow decomposition of humanity, but is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Like
Sure.
Like I worry about, entry level jobs for like my daughter or kids that are younger than her.
Right.
Where like, you used to work at McDonald's. Like that's your entry level job. Like that's something you go get your first job. And like now it's just.
It was so funny. Literally 2 years ago, it was like, you know what? We got to teach these kids how to code. That would be a total waste of everyone's time to teach your kids how to code.
Now you can just use CapCut. Like
yeah. Use CapCut.
Yeah.
AI knows how to code everything for you. Could you code me this real
just
quick?
Ask AI to do it.
Yeah, ChatGPT's like, okay, here's the code.
Yeah.
Great, cool. Application of things. It's less. It becomes more application of as opposed to the creation of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I feel like there's going to be one type of job, and it's going to be create this AI, or help create this AI.
Yeah.
Instead of like all the jobs that it's going to take away. Now, obviously, there's going to be jobs that it will never be able to replace.
Like radio show hosts. that Spotify AI DJ, he gets it wrong all the time. I mean, this show has been on for 3 weeks now, and we've done enough shows that you could AI it at least a year. It's not that tough.
But like, I'm not talking about just AI. Like, I think technology in general, a lot of things that are positioned as, making our lives easier in the long run are going to make everything worse for a lot of people. Like, unless you're like super rich, like a lot of things are going away that a lot of people
counted on
and do for a living.
Yeah.
But you don't believe in like the evolution of things. Like if you were like a horse carriage manufacturer, like in the car came and you'd be like, oh, we're out of business, and then they evolved into like, okay, we make cars now. Like you don't believe that like it will just evolve into whatever the next thing is to make.
I think there's a lot of people my age and older who would
There's
be
people older than you.
Believe it or not, yes.
They must look like shit.
I just haven't aged well. I'm not as old as you think I am.
That's my bad.
Mid-50s.
You know what I'm saying, though, right, Troy? You know,
not in my 50s.
Okay.
You're not in your mid-50s?
Troy, we went over this last
Gun to your
week.
head.
If you put a gun to
You've
my
known me
head,
20 years. You know how old I am.
What? You look great, buddy.
But like you age out, and you can't learn something new. And when you do learn something new, you're already used to a specific type of salary that there are always going to be younger people who know more than you who will work for less than you.
Oh, yeah.
So I worry about that age group. And then I worry about people my daughter's age and younger who are going to have very ways to start making money.
You gotta,
unless you're a content creator.
You gotta learn how to scam.
That's the thing. Like, scams got me so far.
Scamming will never go away. There will always be a scam. And honestly, I think that people will become more gullible as time goes on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, look at the amount of people that think Bill Burr and actually got, surprised by Billy Corgan. Yeah, I think that's...
really all you need to do to, like...
Crime is the future.
Be successful is to convince one person you're Brad Pitt and you want to get married.
That's right. I mean, look at that lady. That guy made, six figures off her. I think that I could probably right now convince a relative, like just start texting a relative and convince them that I'm AI and they should give me money.
Let's try it with your dad.
Yeah, I don't know. My dad's more grumpy. I think I could probably get my mom though.
Well, yeah, you got to go over there whenever there's a computer problem.
That's right. Yeah, my dad has been gotten a couple times. I can probably get him with the scam. People have to, that's what people should be doing. They should be figuring out, because you're right, if the jobs are going away and the way you make income is going away, you got to figure out, this person is willing to work for less money than me. I need to figure out how to steal that person's money. I need to figure out how to get that person's money from their pocket into my pocket.
And not go to jail for it.
For a long time.
For a long time.
For a long time. If you got to do a stint, you got to do a stint. That's part of the life of being a scammer.
And maybe when I'm older and I want to get away from my family, it won't be such a bad thing.
It's really not. And the way technology is going, jails are going to be great in the
I
future.
can finally start to work out.
Jails are going to be amazing. Well, you wouldn't. You'd still be lazy.
You think I would? Even
I do.
in jail?
I do. I think you'd like learn origami or something stupid like that.
What, or just you use AI to figure out how to make money.
Scam people.
No, you don't even have to scam people.
It's better, I think.
I mean, there's people that are making like AI OnlyFans, and it's like you just keep putting out fake content for OnlyFans. And
do you have one?
If I could figure out how to do that, make fake AI.
Wouldn't it be funny if we found out that Troy had a side hustle where he was rating penises?
That would be AI.
That's not necessarily AI.
Wait, that part wouldn't be AI, but the pictures would be AI.
Oh, yeah, you would have
so
to
they would
create
not think they were talking to you, right?
Right.
They would think, and then with the real money that's what I'm talking about. The scam. There's always got to be a scam, and the scam part would be okay. You're gonna make naked lady AI images, right, and put them up there, and everybody's gonna subscribe. But it's all in the tip system, in the benefits. How can we stretch this, right? So you go, okay, by the way, I'm not Troy. I'm a lady. You can tell from the pictures. And for an extra $10, $20 a DM, send me a picture of your genitals. I'll rate them. Guys love that. They're weird. Guys are weird now. They love doing that. And then you don't have to even...
Well, you create a system of AI to rate...
Well, you could just do it.
No, you would probably do it on your free time.
You're not a tech guy.
Well, if I figured out how to make AI OnlyFans...
Well, somebody could say... That's easy. I'm talking about... you don't want... because
and Troy would want to keep the integrity of the ratings in check.
Of course.
You can't trust AI to be rating these correctly.
All it takes is one guy to get a 4 when he's a 2 at best.
And then his whole business is blown.
Yeah, because he would tell everybody. He'd go, this can't possibly be real. Nobody would give me a 4.
That's a good point.
So you would have to be hands-on with that, but that's the scam.
And that's the only part that he's hands-on with.
Well, yeah. He just want to do all the other stuff.
No, he wants more users to his page, because if you're getting a rating that says your penis is better than it actually is,
sure,
you can use that as social proof when you go out.
Thank you.
By the way, Miss,
I don't mean to correct you.
I think that you're wrong about this.
But
I have
Tina
this
on OnlyFans.
social proof from Tina.
Yeah, Troy's OnlyFans would be like, guys would be flocking to it.
Right. A flattering OnlyFans
page.
To
improve their penis's draft status.
I mean, it is a little weird that it was like, Troy was like, "No, man, you just have to be up on the technology. You have to know how to use AI to serve you. For instance, fake OnlyFans."
I mean, people are scamming a lot of money from that.
It's just to go there first is a lot.
I'm trying to think of ways that you can use
and
AI
then to
make
immediately
money.
go to penis rating.
Well, Sam did the penis.
I think you said that first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is how a lot of people make money doing that. The penis ratings.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
But that's why. That's what I'm saying. If you can figure out a little bit of technology and factor in a scam as well, the world is your oyster. You know
how far I got Danny DeVito in Twins.
He was one of the great scammers.
Yeah.
And then his confidence got shot because he realized he was the shit left over.
Tonight is your night.
Tonight is your night, bro. Yeah, I think.
So yeah, I'm worried.
Well, I get that. It's
you got to teach her how to hustle. You got to teach her like 3-card money. You got to teach her all the old school hustles.
She's too busy running. I can't sit her down for 1 second. To teach her.
That's the other thing. I have no sympathy for that. Like, it's great that she is a runner, and it's great that she's accomplished. There's like 3 rich runners of all time. Okay.
Well, there's Usain Bolt.
Right. I think.
Who are the others?
Takari, isn't it?
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Well, he was running from
Yeah. He has to run from gangs everywhere he goes. Yeah. So, yeah. It's between Tekashi and
Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that I'd be more concerned about. You wasted all this time running. There's no way to make money off running.
No, she'll be fine. She knows what she wants to do.
And she's gaining discipline.
Yeah.
So that helps in, when you apply it to a job. And work ethic.
You know, we've got a lot of discipline.
Who?
Machines.
Yeah.
They got the most discipline of all.
Yeah.
No.
They'll work forever.
No.
They don't need a break.
And when they do mess up, you can destroy them. You can't do that with people.
That's true.
That's why people like machines so much.
Now, Travis is right. We're fucked.
You think so?
I feel bad for people that have kids. It's a weird world to go into.
I mean, it's great having kids.
But people evolve. I mean, it's this fear I don't think is a new thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm teaching my kids to scam. Every time somebody comes over to my house, I'll tell you guys right now. You come over.
One of your wallets is gone.
Check your pockets on the way out. Because I guarantee you don't check your pockets on the way out, they're not leaving with you. They got little hands. You know, these kids. They just get right in there and get it.
Plus, they can kind of like, one can be a diversion.
Oh, yeah.
If they work together.
And they don't even have to, when you're a kid, it doesn't even have to be a good diversion. They're just going like, oh, I want to see me do a cartwheel, and it's the worst cartwheel you've ever seen in your life.
It's like Creed.
Right. Exactly like Creed. But you feel obligated to
hey,
watch.
you want to hear this song? Listen to this song I did.
Right.
And it's like,
all of a sudden your passport's gone.
Yeah, I can't be an asshole.
Right.
Also, why am I walking around with my passport when I go to Sam's house?
Well, you never know when you'll need it. Yeah, I think scamming, stolen identities, because that's the, with new technology, there's going to be this wave of people not fully understanding it, but trusting it, because they're going to feel like they have to trust it because they don't want to be left behind by the technology.
Yeah.
And that's when it's easiest to scam people. Now,
just old people.
Huh?
And just old people.
Yeah.
But also I read like a lot of young people get scammed because they don't have like comprehensive, thinking.
Well, the thing about people generally these days is that everybody moves so quickly. Like there's
you don't even think about it.
No, you interact with so many people that have just given up on thinking before they act. And they just act. Oh yeah, I feel this. I got to do this. You're like, why'd you do that? It screwed everything up what you just did. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that was going to happen. There's no sort of giving it a minute.
Just a little critical thinking.
Right, to think about whether or not this is a good idea. And I'll tell you where it started. When whoever it was, this was years ago, somebody started this thing where they go, you know what's great? Multitasking. Everybody should be multitasking. Multitasking is literally the worst thing you could do. And there are bad things to do on this planet. Multitasking is the worst. The worst.
All right. Interesting.
I'd put multitaskers in jail for life. No, multitasking is the worst.
Worse than CP.
CP is bad too. I didn't think about that. All right. Both are bad. Okay. You got me there. Both are bad.
1A and 1B.
Yes. No, but I mean, because people think that, not only do people think they can multitask, but people think they're really good at multitasking.
I can multitask.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Nobody can.
I watch TV and do the dishes.
Of course you do. You're a lady.
I'm just helpful. Look, I'm just helping out.
That was a good one.
Well, it's thoughtful. For me, it took a lot of wit to come up with that one.
See, you can multitask.
That's right. Giving him a serious message and then hitting him with a real zinger.
All right, I stepped in that one.
I'll bet honestly, dude, if you're active, if you're watching TV and doing dishes, I'll bet half the dishes look like shit and you have no idea what happened on your program.
No, I'll tell you what, all the dishes are perfectly polished.
Right.
And I already know all the lines from I Think You Should Leave Anyway, so I'm just laughing along while I watch.
Okay. Well, background noise is not exactly. No, I mean when people are like, yeah, like I multitask as if doing the two tasks at the same time.
Absolutely not.
No, because you're now doing both tasks poorly.
Yes.
In 100% of the scenarios. You're doing both tasks or 3 tasks or 4 tasks poorly, and you haven't thought about it at all. It drives me crazy when people do it. But, I think that goes to the point of people being gullible and what you were saying about.
You don't multitask?
No.
You don't sit on your couch and do a video while you're watching your wrestling?
Not unless I'm going, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to this wrestling match. Because then I'm not multitasking anymore. Then I'm like, okay, it's on, but it's whoever. I'm not going to insult
anybody.
No, I was thinking about it.
It's the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
No. I'm not. I threw my computer out the window for that. No. If I'm watching something where it's like, I do not need to retain information here.
Who would be on?
Hogan, probably. Hulk Hogan. It's like there's got to be a safe one.
Safe.
Hogan. I'd say Hulk Hogan coming out for a special appearance. Then I'm getting my computer multitasking. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I think multitasking unimportant things is fine.
Well, because then you're not multitasking. The other task isn't getting done. Like you said, if you're watching something that you've watched 100 times, you're not actively doing that activity.
No,
that's not a task. You don't get credit for that.
I like to laugh.
Right, just a thing is on.
Yeah.
And almost like when it's something that you've laughed at 100 times, you know when you're supposed to laugh. You're not even actually laughing at what's happening. You just know the timing. You're like, this is where I laugh.
I know it's coming.
Let me get back to polishing my dishes, as you put it.
I know he's going to talk about Dan Flashes.
Right. Exactly. Let me guess. Kim Kardashian got beheaded. Oh, all right. Let's take a break. Luis J. Gomez and Zach Amico are going to be here from the Luis and Zach show. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
We will be right back with Sam Roberts Show. We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
And what a day. From the Luis and Zach show, which airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon on Gas Digital. Our pal Zach Amico and Luis J. Gomez are here. What's going on, guys?
Excited to be here, my friend. It's been a hot minute since I've been in the SiriusXM studios. The energy is alive in these hallways.
It is.
It's like a party out there. It's really wild, guys.
Yeah, I mean it's old school radio, man.
Just like cocaine, hot chicks, live animals. I mean, this is the place to be in the morning.
That's the thing about Sirius. Is like you just never know who's going to show up here.
Wild,
you know?
dude.
It could be anybody. It could be absolutely no one as well. That's what makes it unpredictable.
Truly unpredictable.
I had to make sure it wasn't Mardi Gras out there. It was fucking nuts.
Zach showing his tits to everybody. I'm like, Zach, put them away.
I'm trying to get on Howard.
You got to get the beads. Yeah, I mean, did you ever think that the studio you built, Gas Digital, would be more populated than SiriusXM?
I never thought the day would come. But
here we are.
We have an office manager that has more energy than the entire floor here. She's a 60-year-old black woman. Shout out to Karen.
Well, so you've launched another podcast. Wait, is this a rebrand of Real Ass?
It's a rebrand of Real Ass Podcast.
Yes.
See, SiriusXM, you guys get to be dangerous when you're on YouTube.
Right.
You know, you got to be careful. We were getting throttled.
You got to play by the rules on YouTube.
Because of ass?
Yeah, because of ass.
Is that true?
We wouldn't get suggested to anybody. Yeah, so we were like, let's just call it the Luis and Zach Show. Yeah.
You could search Real Ass Podcast and it wouldn't fill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I figured ass would be safe.
Yeah.
No,
I guess not.
So now we're Luis and Zach.
No, we're not outlaws like you guys here at
Oh,
Sirius.
yeah. Well, this is an XL channel, too. By the way. I don't know if they told you that coming in. XL.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. Well, I'm glad you're rebranding. That's good. And so, like, you both do multiple shows. How do you know, like, what to... I don't know, like what to save specifically for Luis and Zach, or what we're going to do on this show versus this feels more like a Legion of Skanks thing. This feels more like a whatever. This feels more like
that's exactly it. It's the feeling, you know. Certain
you feel
things, if we're going to become Nazis for the night, that's Legion of Skanks.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? For Zig Highland, doing a lot of talking about the blacks and the Jews.
Sure.
That's Legion of Skanks. I'd say Luis and Zach is a little more morning radio influenced.
Really, like
we're
Siri.
silly geese.
Yeah. Just if it's silly.
Yeah.
Whereas Legion of Skanks is
hateful,
hit you in the head with a mallet.
Yeah. That's kind of the differentiation. I do 5 podcasts, so I got a lot of podcasts going in. They're all of different purposes.
Do you feel like you have to, when you're doing 5 podcasts, do you go like, okay, in order to justify doing all these 5 podcasts, I at least have to know to myself which bucket each one fits in?
Yeah, no, and they all serve their own purpose.
Yeah.
They all have they're very different, you know. So
well, what are the 5 you got? Luis and Zach, of course.
Obviously, the number one.
The big one. That's
the big one.
And the reason that's the number one is because that's what we're promoting today.
Yes, exactly.
Right, because it's 3 days a week.
Yeah.
3 days a week.
And pound for pound, laughs per week, Luis and Zach is crushing
Pound
everybody.
for pound also, probably. Yeah. Your only other show has 4 people, so yes. We're probably neck and neck.
And then I got, obviously, Legion of Skanks, the legendary Legion of Skanks.
Yeah.
Then me, Bobby Kelly, Dan Soder, and Joe List. We do the Regs, which is a super show where all 4 of us come together. We're all a bunch of silly gooses.
Yeah.
Then me and Big J just started a podcast called Story Wars, which you have to come and do, Sam.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a game show. Very fun, very easy, very silly. It's a game of deception and storytelling.
Yeah.
And then I do a solo podcast just for subscribers to my email list because I'm capturing their data.
Ooh, I love that.
So they only get it if they let me capture their data.
But they get, like, most of these places, you just give them your data for nothing. Here, you get a podcast for
You
the
get a
data.
podcast
That's
for the
nice.
data. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Very giving.
Yeah. What do you do on the solo podcast then?
I just talk shit about, mental health and physical health and all that type of stuff.
Sure, that's when you can get your sort of...
Yeah, because you don't want to. People don't want to hear about somebody getting. There's nothing funny about somebody getting in shape.
No,
it's just it's cringy. You roll your eyes. It's like I save that for my solo podcast for people that want that type of content.
Right.
It's all the stuff people would call him a homo for on the other 4.
Yeah.
Sure, all 4 other
I extracted all of my homosexual talk and put it into one place for everybody.
This is the gay podcast.
I could have just said one word, the gay podcast.
Yeah, but also you have the sort of knowledge, like, listen, if they're sharing their data with me, if they've joined my email list, clearly they have some kind of interest in what's going on in the day-to-day of Louis J.
If
Gomez.
they subscribe to that email list, they want that type of shit. And,
Yes.
it's a small fraction of my audience, but they really love it.
Yeah. Do you like doing it 3 days a week? I mean, that's
Yeah, because I always want to do a morning show.
You did,
and that's exactly what
so
it
you
is.
treat it like a radio show.
Yeah, we treat it like a radio show.
I love that.
You have young comics come in. We just talk shit. It's news stories, things that are happening in social media. All the popular.
It's a little more like segmented.
Yeah.
What kind of segments?
No, segregated. We don't.
Yeah. Segregated. I'm sorry, I missed the
Only
headphones.
White people,
Yeah, that
on the
makes
show.
sense.
Well, we judge women. That's Toiter Noit.
Yeah, that's true.
We talk about dogs murdering babies. That's Murder Dogs.
That's a segment.
Yeah, it's a whole segment. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Dogs murdering babies?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that was happening.
At least once or twice a week. 50 children killed last year by pit bulls. Don't get me started.
So are you anti-pit bull guy?
I'm not anti-pit bull guy. I'm anti-poor people owning pit bulls.
Okay, so you think it's the poor people?
Poor people.
For sure.
They say if you outlaw pit bulls, only criminals will have pit bulls.
I had no idea that there was this many dog infant deaths.
Yeah, they eat
Usually
babies
you hear-
regularly.
Like, this is what they eat.
And to be fair, babies are delicious. So
Yeah. Do you know that?
I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and also just the data alone. If babies weren't delicious, why would dogs keep eating them?
That's true.
It would happen a couple times a year max.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't finish them.
No, certainly
They
not.
go back to the kibbles.
The amount of baby that is consumed. When did you realize, like, we could do a whole segment about these babies getting eaten?
Well, people started just sending me videos of babies being eaten regularly. I was like, well, we got to do something with it, There's
You
a lot
can
of
only jerk off so many times.
That's right. I'm chafing. I do like, though, that's the connection with your audience, that they're like, no, Luce is going to love this. And you're like, yeah, not only do I love this, like, we can just waste this content.
Yeah, I've become very desensitized to babies being eaten by pit bulls.
You have.
First time you see it, it's not good.
It
Sam.
sounds shocking, utterly shocking.
It'll ruin your day. The
Yeah.
first couple times, after a while, you start to anticipate it. Every time I open my inbox, I'm like, come on, another baby being eaten. Let's go.
And we expect it. Imagine the parents.
Right.
It's a real day changer.
Yeah, sure. I also like that you guys can probably now rate technique, you know what I mean, and
Oh, yeah.
see, like, who the stronger animals really are.
Yeah, certain people fight back. You see, there was firemen. They were just smashing these giant loose pit bulls in the head with shovels. It did nothing to them. These pit bulls were ready to rock.
They were just fuzzy crocodiles just going for it.
That is how you know, like, the species breakdown. When it's like, as humans, who we've figured it all out. We know how to use tools. We've got all these fingers. We've figured out buildings. We've got everything. And we get to this scenario where it's like, I think I just got to hit this dog with a shovel.
Yeah,
it's the
that's it.
only defense. And it doesn't work.
It doesn't really work. I think you could finger its ass. I've heard that. I don't think that works. I think that's just like a gag that people play on people to watch them finger dogs.
Right.
I think a pit bull came up with that.
You know
think
what
a
would
real
get me to
cramped
stop? he presents.
So you have, I feel like these podcasts are getting bigger and bigger, right?
Oh, yeah.
Skankfest is getting, like, massive.
Huge. Tomorrow is the pre-sale.
Ooh.
Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, January 29th, pre-sale. You get access to the kickoff party on Thursday. The only way to get access to the kickoff party with a special surprise musical guest. Last year it was Insane Clown Posse.
That's a great surprise musical guest.
It was insane. They were so much fun. Oh my God, dude. They were fun.
Yeah.
And this year we're not announcing it. Obviously, it's always a surprise, but there's special stand-up shows, podcasts.
Is it on that level? Is it like one of those where you'll see him and go like, holy shit?
I think that people will be more holy shitting this year than last year.
Is it Creed? Because I'd be like, holy shit, that's awesome.
You know what? I'm not going to say. It could be Creed.
Could be Creed.
Could be Creed. Yeah, but the pre-sale's tomorrow, so you get a discount on the tickets and you get access to the kickoff party as well. So it's cheaper and you get more. And it's going to be the biggest Skankfest we've ever done. It's New Orleans, November 14th or 16th.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you hire people now to like manage? I know this is your baby, but I can't imagine the stress of like having to manage this thing, especially when it's like not
Especially
only
around all those pit bulls.
with pit bulls, people bring their babies.
No, get away from me, you pit bull. It's my baby.
But no, I like with all the events and stuff, and then also all the comics that you have to keep up with, and then also like. Who's to say, hypothetically, like people could even take a shit on the stage or something? You just never know what's going to happen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, me neither.
No, I don't. Nobody else works with me. I do it all by myself.
That's it.
100% of everything is all by myself.
Well, that's why you should support it.
You know, Rebecca Trent and Christine Evans, they act like they're involved, but that's just front facing. I'm behind the scenes, really doing all of it.
Every single thing.
There's not a single stone unturned. That's what.
Support it. That's why you need to support it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing.
No, obviously Rebecca and Christine. Rebecca does all like the booking and planning and going down. And I mean, she almost got arrested in Vegas one year because we did a parade on Fremont Street. We called it a parade, and you're not allowed to do that. So
like was it a spontaneous parade?
We do all. Well, now it's called the Skank Walk. We don't call it Skank Parade. We've learned our lesson.
You can walk.
We can walk
in numbers.
No parade.
No parade.
But yeah, we did it down Fremont Street. We took over, and it's just Skanks fans. So they're just drinking and calling people homos and gay,
Sure.
and smoking weed. And yeah, we put it as a parade on the website, and she had to go into like City Hall, and like they were literally going to arrest her. Yeah, she was like, she's such a badass. And then Christine Evans, obviously the producer of the Bonfire, she's one of the partners as well. And they kill it, man. I just come up with the ideas, and then they make them work.
That's what I figured must happen, because the ideas to pull off are that's the real pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, I think conceptualizing it is probably a big part of it, but
I mean, I guess we all come up with.
If it was up to these two women, what would they conceptualize? Breakfast? Get the fuck out of here.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's
the fun thing is throughout the year being with Lewis, when you'll see the spark of an idea and then him call Rebecca and honestly ask the price of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So he'll just be like, honestly, Cosby, what do we think a number was?
There's a path.
There is a number.
Right. And that's your whole thing, too, is like, just give me the number and we can figure out if this is a solvable problem.
Right, exactly. And most problems are solvable.
That's
Sam.
right.
There we go.
That's right. Give me the path to Cosby.
There's the path to Cosby.
I think so. So we were talking right before we came on. While you've been doing this, I feel like you're also getting yourself into like the best shape of your life.
Yeah.
Which seems that's the part to me that seems exhausting.
No, it's not that bad.
Really?
You just get up in the morning, you work out, you feel good, you're thinking about yourself. You
think about yourself a lot.
You're thinking about yourself. That's what you're doing. It's a physical representation of thinking about yourself.
How much of the day do you think Luis J. Gomez spends thinking about Luis J. Gomez?
Oh, I mean, I wish there was more hours in the day. There's not enough time in the day to think about myself.
I mean, you have a lot going on. You have every reason to think about yourself.
Yeah. What am I going to start thinking about other people? It's crazy.
That is crazy. When you could be thinking about
myself.
That's right.
Of course.
So, I mean, but it's not that exhausting. It seems
working out.
Just committing to the whole thing. Like, it's one thing to just work out, right? Get into the gym, but you've made a physical transformation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, but I like it. It's enjoyable. People that like working out like working out.
Right.
It's people that don't work out that think that it sounds like a nightmare.
Right. Right. Are you going to bed early now?
I'm in bed pretty early. Wow. 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Not crazy.
No.
You're not one of these like.
No, I get up at 7 every day.
Yeah.
Put my son goes to bed after me sometimes.
What's he doing?
Jerking off. Probably. I mean, he's 12. If I had to guess, that's all he's doing. That's what I was doing when I was 12.
They both have Oculuses. 10 o'clock is lights out.
Doors shut on each room. Oculus on.
Yeah, it's just two guys who look like Daft Punk fucking whacking it.
And then we don't ask any questions when we wake up in the morning.
No, not at all. But it is nice. I did get to take the other Oculus because I got them the Oculus 3, so now the Oculus 2 is my little porn hub. It's delightful.
Is it? Do you use it for porn?
Oh, yeah.
Is it actually good?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
No, I've never tried.
You've never tried Oculus porn? Oh,
no.
my God, Sam.
I don't have an Oculus.
I'm going to buy you an Oculus.
That'd be great.
It's going to change your life.
Mainly for porn.
Mainly for porn, dude.
So do you watch porn without it?
It's difficult now. To watch the flat screen girls.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Right. 2-dimensional.
Ugh. Yuck.
You like the 3-dimensional now.
I like you get into orgies, you look around, they whisper in your ear, like, you're fucking gay.
Right.
It's gay porn.
sure.
You're such a homo.
You're like, yeah, tell me more. That is, yeah, I wonder, I've always wondered if it's like realistic enough, or is it's not like sort of overwhelming to the point where you're like, what am I even looking at? It's all everything. You love it.
Not rules.
It does.
It legitimately rules. I have a password and an account for VRBangers.com.
It's porn specifically made.
The problem with it, though, is they don't come out with it fast enough. So, like, we came from a generation where it's like you go to a streaming site and then there's porn, new videos. Now they come up, they put maybe 1 or 2 videos out a week.
Oh, and you need more.
Yeah, you need more. You need variety.
Right. You're not going to watch the same thing over and over again, especially in VR. I would imagine, especially in VR, because it's so experiential that you need variety even more.
Yeah.
Once or twice a week is not going to.
It's not going to cut it. Well, now, but my jerking off is down now.
It is?
Yeah.
On purpose?
Yeah, well, it's because I don't like old porn, and I don't get enough VR porn, so now I'm only jerking off, when those new videos come out.
Old porn is what he calls it when the girls are 19 and above.
Gotcha. You won't go to a legend, like a classic. You don't have your go-to clips.
Like on X videos or one of these?
Yeah.
Here and there I will.
But
here and there I will.
Yeah.
I jerk off to my thoughts more than I jerk off to porn, though.
Well, you love yourself.
You're
just thinking about yourself. Yeah. Did you
Skankfest pre-sale.
Did you have to condition yourself to start getting turned on by your own brain again? Because I think like porn ruined a lot of people.
No, condition dries up and then you get your dick's all scaly.
Because it ruins people. Porn, it destroys the imagination.
It does too. Yeah, I think too. I would think we were all addicted to porn for a while, right?
I think so.
And then we just we got older. You sort of catch your glimpse of yourself in the mirror jerking off. You're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
There's nothing more pathetic than catching yourself jerking off in the mirror. Back in the day, I used to jerk off like American Psycho. I'd be flexing in the mirror and shit.
Sure.
But now it's kind of sad.
No. I get that's why the Oculus is so great. It covers everything.
Yeah.
You're not even going to get a peek by mistake.
Yeah.
But you still have to unplug out of the Matrix.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great point, because now you have to you can be in this different reality.
Mm-hmm.
But now once you unplug, you have to come to terms with what just happened.
Yeah. I sometimes I'll be jerking off and I'll get bored of it, and then I'm like, I'm going to become an archer, and then I just go into a little archery game, start shooting fucking targets. You can paint pictures. It's a lot of fun.
I didn't even think of all the activities.
There's so many activities beyond it. There's hot chicks in this room you could bang.
Right.
And then you can go and fucking...
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm tired of all these hot chicks.
Yeah.
I want to go do some boxing.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun.
But unfortunately, if somebody were to walk in, you'd be nude and painting.
That's true.
And it's just a weird thing to see.
With a half-hard penis.
Right.
Or sometimes I'm boxing nude, or sometimes I start boxing the girl that's doing porn.
I like that.
That's fun. They should make that'd be a fun game.
Choose your own adventure.
Just to get it out, beat the shit out of these whores. How fun would that be?
Right, but because nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You're just getting it out of your system.
Get it out of the way. I think it would help a lot of dangerous men.
I think the porn addiction came in because everybody, our generation grew up having to hunt porn down. And when it became so available, it was almost like you had a scarcity mentality.
Yeah.
Like, how do I not consume all of this all at once?
Yeah.
And I guess you're right. Eventually you grow out of that and go it's just...
My son's mother checked my history one time because for years I didn't know how to delete my history.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just I just lived it. I was like, this is who I am.
Sure.
And she checked my history, and if you check a guy's history on those streaming sites, it looks like we watch a wild amount of porn, but you're just searching for the one to jizz to. So you're going through all these different options, and you're like, no, not that one, not that one, not that one, and you finally find the one. She doesn't get it. She thinks I just watched 100 porn videos.
Wow. No, it should say in the history how many seconds.
Yes.
Because it's literally 3 seconds.
That's it.
Max.
Move on.
That. Nope, that's not doing it. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach, you have told us before about how you grew up.
Yes.
With not a ton of privacy, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, did you become because you grew up with no doors on the...
No doors, yeah. Yeah, they
just
open floor plan.
Right.
I believe was the way my dad described it.
Open floor plan.
It's an open floor plan, yeah.
Because they didn't want you doing
No, that's
naughty
how
things.
it was.
Right.
So I grew up it was an apartment above my dad's welding shop.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me, my mom, and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
When my dad was a kid, it was my grandma, my grandpa, my grandma's sister, and 5 boys in a 1-bedroom.
Oh, it was like Willy Wonka. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
With all the old people in the bed.
Yeah, all 4
And the
of
fact
them.
that kids 4 and 5 were even born is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah,
that
yeah,
means
because
they
how-
were conceived when everyone was in the house.
Everybody was there in the 1-bedroom.
Yeah. Now I'm told
Real slick.
I'm told my grandpa's method of seduction was K, brace yourself.
So it was just. Did it feel like a luxury when it was just you and your parents?
No, it was not.
You couldn't take in the
No.
joy of having less
I
people
would-
here.
Yeah, no, because everybody
they
knew I
tortured
had
you.
doors.
Right, you like doors.
Yeah, I didn't get a door till college.
Right.
And boy, did I use it.
Well, that's what I was gonna, I mean, the same way, like when you grow up and there's a scarcity mentality. Once you have a door, I mean, this had to be a whole new world for you.
Yeah, I made up for lost time.
You did.
Now, not that much. Every once in a while, but
It's the same as you.
You get older.
Yeah, you get
and,
older.
and I think there is a lesson to be learned in like there's you however you grow up, and then there's that young area where you just have to hit it hard. You know what I mean? Hit it hard, and then once you get past that, you can just be a well-developed person.
Yeah.
You know?
But we have to have, at least a decade of
Yes.
real sexual deviancy.
That's right.
Yeah. And all the fun stuff they took, you can't even search it anymore.
What's the...
Forced porn, teen porn, forced teen porn.
Okay, so it's
all the ones that...
all the
Like,
combinations.
some of us are creative and learn to just search braces.
It's women with broken legs.
Those my magical fuck shoes.
Yeah, but even though all the old retard porn is gone, all of the...
I didn't know that was... I didn't even get... And you know what the sad thing is? I never got to experience
You
it
never
to
got to
begin with.
experience it, man. You gotta
I can't believe it.
Open your mind.
Yeah, I can't believe it's gone.
There was a whole. It was on all the regular porn sites. It'd be retard porn, like what do they call it? Amputee porn was a big
Amputee
thing.
gone
for a minute.
too?
Yeah, all gone.
Oh.
I mean, you can find. I'm sure there's specific sites. Like there's a specific site for rape porn, and it's not just porn. They have like rape scenes from mainstream movies. It's really good.
I mean, it sounds
It's
bad.
a really good.
Honestly, it
website.
sounds bad.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, you do have to go on the dark web to get it, but
Sure. But you can now. Ross Ulbricht's out.
ExpressVPN, folks.
Yeah.
ExpressVPN.
Yeah, they let the Silk Road guy out of jail. We can do that now, I think. Everything's different.
Lewis loves sex scenes from real movies.
Oh yeah,
that's one of his things.
Like Mr. Skin?
No. If it's just like, if it's a hot sex scene from a real movie and the chick's like actually naked and spreading her legs, that'll get me going. Even though they're not showing any penetration, I'm still going like, yo, everyone on set is just seeing that girl's. That rules.
Plus, the
That's
artsier the
awesome.
film, the more gross they can kind of get. Like,
Right.
there's Italian movies with straight up blowjobs in them. Like,
Yeah.
film, like the chick takes a cock in her mouth.
Yeah.
And it's an art film, and nobody really gives a hoot. I just showed Irreversible on my horror movie show.
Yeah, I mean,
And
insane.
Jesus
Insane.
That
Dude,
one
I
is hard
forgot.
to jerk off to.
I forgot.
I'm glad you. Look at we found the soul.
No, I have jerked off to it, but I'm saying it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it was a struggle. But I forgot, that scene aside, I forgot that movie opens up with a guy fisting himself.
It's crazy.
I've never watched the movie. I've just watched the 18-minute rape scene a few times.
Yes, but for a feature-length amount of time. He puts the Benny Hill music on it.
Oh, man. So, Lewis, your mom was obsessed with OJ when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Are you excited about the OJ doc? They're doing another.
They're doing a doc?
Another one.
Oh, that's fun.
Another one.
My mom loved OJ.
But she's a fan?
Oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, let loose the juice. She used to say that.
She had one of the bootleg parking lot T-shirts?
Yeah, dude. I used to have a Pogs OJ Slammer.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like it was gold and it fucking had spikes on it, and that was like my prized possession.
It was OJ.
And my mom was like, hold on to that. That's going to be worth money one day.
So she was outraged that they were doing this to OJ?
Yeah. You know what it was? That's
there
right
it
there.
is, the slammer.
No, the gold one.
The
third
one with the
over.
spikes.
Oh, with the spikes.
That one, how cool is that one?
That's all actually awesome because the other one, it was OJ. It was an OJ slammer, but he was actually in the slammer.
Yeah.
Right? He was in jail.
Yeah, he's in jail there. He's got his arms on the bars.
This is a spiked one, though.
That's
so
cool.
because these were great because when it had like the spiked edges on the slammers, you'd slam it down and it would dent your friend's pogs.
It would, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, the chase is documented on the back of the slammer.
It's a great slammer. My mom, she was like, hold on to this. It's going to be worth money one day.
The slammer.
We looked it up on eBay. It's $27. It's not that much money. But it's more, at least.
It's like expensive for a slammer.
Quadrupled in value.
but not life-changing.
Yeah, no.
It's not gonna help you
OJ
too
shit is
much.
pretty fun to find.
On eBay?
Yeah, I got a buddy who his dad was like a real estate developer, and he got a job right out of high school doing real estate.
Yeah.
So he had like 3 houses from right out of high school, and he married this chick that hates.
Think about how many doors were in those houses.
Oh, so many doors.
I mean, wow.
And he married this little Asian chick who hated me. So whenever I went over to one of his houses, he would hide me.
To be fair, she thought you were Godzilla.
Yes. And he takes me up to his attic, and he's like, just showing me, like, he like collects the same as me, like nerd shit. And he's like, wait, if I show you something, can you not tell fucking, Yao Lin or whatever her fucking name is? And I was like, yeah, sure. He moves a fucking cardboard thing, and there's another door, and it was just a tiny room of all OJ shit. He lives in Buffalo. I mean, wall to wall signed jerseys. He had the pogs still in the cardboard, like not popped out. And I was like, where the fuck do you get this? And he goes, if you go to any sports memorabilia store and go, where's the OJ stuff? They go, we don't have any. And then you wait for everyone else to leave. It's like buying mushrooms at a bodega.
Sure.
You go, no, seriously, where's the OJ stuff? They come right in here. We got a shitload of it.
Yeah. I get people that give me Nazi memorabilia on the road all the time. I'm like, I'm kidding. I'm not actually a Nazi.
Yeah. I do love your fans have been like, you know who would love this Nazi stuff? You know who would love these babies getting eaten? You know who? Lewis!
Dude, a guy offered me the steeple off the church from Rust.
Really?
Yeah. It was, I was like, I would need like a storage unit for it. And he's like, I can get, because he worked on it.
At the Laugh Factory in Chicago, they gave me a Cosby painting, a really cool Cosby painting. They were like, we can't do anything with this. I was like, I'll take it.
It was a painting of Cosby.
It was a painting of Cosby, yeah.
Do you have it?
I think I have it, yeah, still.
That's great.
Yeah. I didn't hang it up because my ex-girlfriend was like, you're not hanging that up. He's a rapist.
Is that why you broke up with her?
I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, we're done.
And that way I sleep with the painting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
What I suggested is if he took a hallway in his house and it was Cosby and then like Weinstein, like Kevin Spacey, and then the last thing was just a mirror.
There is a commitment to the bit of like...
That's kind of an art piece if you think about it.
Really?
That could be in a museum.
Really?
If the last one was a mirror...
Why is this all here? Why don't you tell me? What do you think? What do you think? Who's the real monster?
Probably them still.
Probably, yeah. Probably all the people that were painted. Yeah, I think so. It would be a real commitment to the bit because then you'd have people coming into your house that are theoretically not comics.
Yeah.
They're going like, is that... And you're like, yeah, that's Bill Cosby.
Yeah. It's my son's friends. You're a rapist. Think about that.
Yeah, looking in the mirror.
Jesse.
Think about it. I don't want you going over to his house anymore.
Dude, my son's friend literally, so our fans give us fan art all the time, like just paintings of us, and my gaming room and my streaming room just covered with fan art. And somebody just made a painting of me and Zach in blackface, which we've never done blackface.
You have not.
Well, I did a charcoal mask on Legion of Skanks.
But that was a charcoal
mask.
mask.
That was just to make my skin look better.
Okay, good.
I was in a chocolate pie eating contest.
But you love pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it's so funny. This 12-year-old kid was like, why do you guys have a painting of you guys in blackface? I was like, how does a 12-year-old know what blackface is? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He's going to have to get rid of this goddamn painting now. I love that painting.
They're at the age where they realize what they're looking at.
It's a nightmare.
It's a charcoal mask, by the way. It's for my skin. What are you streaming? What are you playing?
I stopped playing video games. I was playing Warzone for a while, and then I just stopped playing video games altogether, except for Guitar Hero. I brought my ex-girlfriend an Xbox 360 and 2 guitars, and Guitar Hero 2 and Guitar Hero World Tour. And
could you have been any sicker of talking to her at that point?
No, she loved it, and then when we broke up and she left, it's been almost a year. She just left it. And I didn't say anything. I was like, let me just fucking let her leave it.
Yeah.
You know what happened yesterday?
No.
She died.
Oh, okay.
No, she picked it up.
No!
But I wish death upon her.
She did?
She picked it up yesterday. I'm so pissed.
Did she pick it up for she just wanted it?
She was like, yeah. She was like, I mean, like, I just imagine you playing with other girls. I was like, what do you think of me? I've definitely played with 2 other girls. I really have.
That's a great thought that you're thinking right now. Literally
Psychic.
that game.
Yeah.
That exact game.
It rules. Guitar Hero is the best.
Yeah.
That was actually the original name of Legion of Skanks.
Guitar Hero?
No. We weren't very creative.
Yeah.
Guys, have a podcast. Guitar Hero.
Yeah, what do we like? We love Guitar Hero.
No, the name, we came up with the name Legion of Skanks because we were playing Guitar Hero, me and Big J. That's when we became friends. And he was cheating on his wife like regularly. So we were about to leave to go out to spots and they were arguing. She was like, fine, go out and hang out with your Legion of Skanks. So she said it to him, and then we both looked at each other and we're like, dude, that's a great Guitar Hero band name. So then for 2 years, it was just a Guitar Hero band name.
The Legion of Skanks.
The Legion of Skanks, yeah.
And now it's become, part of podcast. Literally, I mean, part of podcast history.
You know,
I would say it.
I appreciate you saying that. I feel like, we've been doing podcasts longer than most.
Yeah.
13 years we've been doing it.
And definitely longer than, way before the kind of boom, way before it was like, well, if you're a comedian, you should be podcasting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, it was super early. There was a couple guys that were slightly before us. Rogan was maybe a year before us. Adam Carolla. There's a couple guys.
Sure.
Mark Maron. But
Sure.
Yeah, for the most part, I think we're like, I think we might be the oldest ensemble podcast that's out there.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Maybe.
So that's how the name came about.
Yep.
Because I was like, the name is Legion of Skanks, and you just look at just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
You're like, where are the Skanks?
We're the Skanks. Makes no sense.
Try going to the shows.
But yeah, I mean, you've branded the term because you don't even really hear skank anymore. Nobody uses that word anymore.
No.
It's over.
Yeah.
Except Legion of Skanks, Skankfest, the whole thing is still.
I think there's also a Skank Fest in England that's a ska festival.
Oh, because they skank.
Yeah, they skank.
The dance.
Yeah. But I mean, come on. They need to just give it up.
I think so.
Nobody likes ska music.
Don't let Ian hear that.
Yeah.
Ian's finance would be crushed if you said that.
Yeah. Well,
promises.
Yeah. He kills himself. I was like, yeah, we did it.
And the last straw was Lewis saying, nobody. So did you? You still love Guitar Hero actively? I don't hear many people anymore because it was such a huge game. It was a culture.
It was awesome, and yes, I still love it. And the guitars are like $250 if you buy them on eBay. You can't get
because
them.
they're not.
You can't get them anymore.
Wow,
it's crazy. It was so much fun though. You just fucking shred.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever it is, just
fucking rip,
dude. I was playing on Expert. I was good.
You were.
Oh yeah.
You playing on Expert?
Yeah.
You just kind of let that. You just mumble that one through.
I'm just letting you know.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
I would have said that loud and proud. So did you give up video games because you're like, listen, I'm getting my life together. I'm getting my business together. I'm getting my physical together.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't have time for these video games.
Well, I was distracting myself from life and doing nothing in that time. Just doing absolutely nothing except letting 12-year-olds kill me and call them the N-word.
Right.
It just wasn't, there was no...
Right, and that wasn't making you feel good.
No, it made me feel terrible.
Yeah, sure.
I wasn't good
that
at
was a
video
very
games.
special edition of Guitar Hero, by the way.
Anytime I play a Jimi Hendrix song.
Yeah, it made you feel bad.
I was
the children were destroying you and cursing you.
I was distracted. It was like there's no value in it. I'm trying to.
Are you the type of person that needs every kind of minute to be spoken for, like in your life, like you should be doing something productive, or are you okay at going like, no, I've done a lot today, I'm gonna take the next couple hours to just do something that is unrelated to anything that is specifically productive?
I literally am only productive these days.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like working. I'm like a work dog.
Yeah.
I'm like a dog pulling a sled, baby boy.
I like that.
That's when my tail's wagging. When
I
I'm
like
working,
that.
You know?
Get that tail wagging.
Yeah. I love to wag my tail.
Hell yeah.
Put a finger in my ass. I'm working.
Let's
baby.
do it. Let's get
go.
you away from that baby.
But yeah, no, I am, I'm 42 years old. I'm at a crossroads. You know, a lot of my friends are bazillionaires at this point. I'm like, no, I want to be a bazillionaire.
You'd like a bazillion?
I'd just one bazillion.
One, but yeah, it's not even like.
I might retire if I had $1 billion.
Would you think you would?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I like to work.
Yeah, because it's hard. The idea of, even if you have whatever financial things, if you set your life up in a way that's like, no, everything I do is going to be centered around productivity.
Yeah.
To then go like, okay, now I'm just not going to do that anymore is it'll never. I don't think it'll ever happen.
I had a friend, an old girlfriend. She was like, I feel like we don't talk anymore. We're not friends. And I'm like, you don't work for me.
You said that.
Yeah, I swear. I was
Straight
like,
up.
how are we going to have a relationship if you're not part of this bigger picture?
Dude,
She was like, that's sad. I was like, you're sad, bitch. I wasn't even kidding.
I have thought of that so many times and kept it to myself, like in my own life, where people that I've known for like a long time that I haven't spoken to are like, oh, it'd be great to see each other. Like in my head, I'm going, and do what?
What are we going to do?
Right. Or my wife will be like, so-and-so's coming over Sunday. I'm like, I won't be here.
Yeah.
Because I can't be around this, like, where's this leading? Nowhere? I can't do it.
Small talk.
I'm not doing it.
Yuck.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. If we're going to talk, get the microphones out.
Right.
Okay.
Can we make some money off this
Can we do
conversation?
this?
Because otherwise, we ain't having it.
Ain't happening, baby.
But I've never felt comfortable to vocalize it because I feel like I've lost, like people will think I've lost a degree of humanity. But what you're saying right now, I go, yeah, Lewis has it all figured out.
I mean, I'm not even kidding. I swear
don't think
I'm
so.
not even slightly kidding about
I don't
that.
think
I
so.
don't have relationships with really anybody that I don't work with. Me and Zach are only close friends because we work together 3 days a week.
And we're constantly with each other.
Yeah.
I don't think we sit in silence and look out the front window of the car. We've never looked at each other.
Save it for the podcast, Zach.
But to an extent, I mean, you're the same way, Zach, right? I mean, all these like weird.
No, Zach's got some normie friends still.
You have normie friends?
I have my movie friends. I guess I would count those.
But you are active in making and performing in movies. You do a podcast where you talk about movies. Like it is. Still...
I don't do a lot. If I go out, it's usually for an event that I'm working or promoting something.
Do you feel pressure being around the Puerto Rican rattlesnake over here?
No, I'm very used to him.
Right.
He ushered me into this business.
Yes.
He crafted me.
But you don't feel like, oh, he's got this level of commitment, I need to match that.
No.
Right. It's what works for him.
Yeah, he's got his own thing going on.
Yeah.
I enjoy relaxing with the love of my life. And
you do.
Watching Traitors on Peacock.
Is that good? What is Traitors?
Yeah. It's the game Mafia, but in a mansion with celebrities.
Because I thought it was like a show, and then it was like reality people as themselves.
Yeah, it's the game Mafia. So, like, it's a bunch of people. They pick the traitors, and they can kill somebody every night, and then they have a round table and discuss who they think the traitors are, and they vote a person out.
Now, would you have trouble watching a show like that if you couldn't, in your head, go, I'm watching this because I know I'll have this bit, I'll be able to take this angle on it on one of these podcasts?
I don't really watch TV. I don't. Yeah. It's kind of hard.
But you don't get to it when you do 5 podcasts and stand up. Do you ever get to a place where you're like, I need to live life outside of work so I have something to talk about?
No.
Never.
That's why I have producers. They come up with notes.
No. Why don't you guys come up with notes?
Yeah. You have 7 producers in here.
What
are they doing?
Nothing. They're useless. I don't think you guys would do well with Lewis.
No.
No, he knows it. He knows already.
Why do you think I'm here? Why do you think I'm all the way in the corner?
That's right. I forget.
Yeah, I'll watch stuff with my son because that's
good.
Yeah,
and your kid will tell you like especially at 12, what your kid is into.
Yeah,
it's like kind of at least letting you know what like the next generation is kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch movies with my son. We play board games and things like that. But that's the only things that's the only personal time that I really get.
But then just being a good father.
Even at night, like I'm just like, I'll try to turn on a movie and I'm like, oh, this sucks. And I just turn the TV off and I stare at it. I shit you not. I just stare at a blank screen
this
all the
time. I can do better than this.
Yeah, I start feeling bad at myself. I was like, I should be making movies. Who am I? Click.
Right. That is a weird thing that gets you. Like you have to find an angle where you're like, I have no interest in doing this.
Yeah.
So it's safe for me to watch this and not think, why aren't I doing more? Why aren't I doing this?
Yeah, I'm
watching Martin Luther King Jr. speeches.
I'm buying tickets to go see 9 Inch Nails. What is it, in September maybe?
That's sick.
When they're, one of my favorite bands ever. Best concert I've ever seen. But even when I go to like a concert, after like a half an hour, I'm like, who am I? What am I doing? First of all, I'm making eye contact with a man and singing his lyrics back to him. It's pretty gay. I went to go see Glassjaw with my friends, and I don't know if you know the band Glassjaw.
Sure,
but it's like screamo, hating their chicks in high school, and it's like a bunch of 40-year-old dudes like beating their chests, making eye contact with the lead singer, being like, "What are we doing, dude?"
Yeah.
I had to walk outside and cool off.
That's so. You get too analytical.
Yeah.
To enjoy anything.
Yeah.
Because you realize what's going on, and there is too. You've never been good.
You can just stop there.
at anything. You've never been good, as long as I've known you, at not being in the superior position. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, when you buy a ticket to see someone else, and they're on a stage, and you're below them.
Getting cucked by Ticketmaster.
Right, you're almost sitting there like, what the fuck? You should be on the floor. I should be on stage.
That's right, Trent Reznor, watching me tell dick jokes.
Yeah, there is, but there is part of you, I think, that would probably thinks that.
Kind of.
Why is it, if I'm this into what Trent's doing, why isn't Trent into what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'd be pissed too, dude. He probably is. He probably likes them.
He's probably a Legion of Skanks fan.
At least, I think he does listen to Lewis and Zach.
Probably.
Of all the shows, I bet that's the one you would like the best.
Because you know what? The thing about Trent is, I think probably with Trent, even though he comes across as this kind of edgy guy, Legion of Skanks pushes it too far, I think.
Too far even for Trent.
Even me and Trent both. Too far for us. We need silliness. We turn on Lewis and Zach.
That's what you need in the morning. Silliness in the morning.
Every now and then we wanna rage, and then we turn on Legion of Skanks for the rage.
Yeah.
You know? I was telling Travis the other day that for some reason, I guess Shane Gillis clips are like hitting everybody's algorithm. He's just like everywhere now. And one of the things that keeps popping back up is when you guys brought Martin Shkreli onto Legion of Skanks.
The great Martin Shkreli.
You like him.
I don't mind Martin Shkreli. He hustles. Eye on the prize, baby.
Yeah. Shane and Shane just asking him bare bones, like, why'd you do that? Why'd you make the AIDS medication so expensive? People needed that.
Yeah.
And just not getting off that wavelength.
I mean, when you look a little bit more into it, which is not in that clip, he does explain that like he made it really cheap for for people to buy it, and the insurance companies were being charged at the ass. And
so you're like a Shkreli apologist.
I'm not a Shkreli apologist. I don't think he needs to apologize.
Right. What would there be to apologize? This is just an entrepreneur.
This guy's an entrepreneur. I'm not going to hate on him. He was good on the show too. You know, that moment went sort of viral.
Is that crazy when you're talking, especially then, right? For those who don't remember, Martin Shkreli is the guy who jacked up the price on all the AIDS medication and then went to jail, not for jacking up the price on AIDS medication, but for, didn't he like threaten Hillary Clinton too?
Some other shit.
Yeah, all kinds of shit. He was a wild guy.
He bought a Wu-Tang album, didn't he?
And he bought Wu-Tang's one. Wu-Tang said, we're going to do a one of one.
Yeah.
And then Martin Shkreli bought it just to piss everybody off.
Yeah. People hate that guy.
They hate him.
People hate that guy.
Hate him.
Yeah, but he was nice enough.
And
he was a nice guy.
And then
he's a pretty okay guy once you meet Milo Yiannopoulos.
But then once he's out of jail, what do you just like hit him up like, hey, would you like to do Legion of Skanks? Or did you know he had become aware of the pod?
Danny Polishchuk's a comic who he brought him on. He was like, dude, I have a connection with Martin Shkreli. Do you want him on Legion of Skanks? I was like, yeah, bring him on. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to just piss people off sometimes.
I mean, I know when something like that gets announced, I go, yeah, Lewis is in his pocket right now.
Yeah, people. I mean, we announced Skankfest. The New Orleans attack, the driver that plowed through people.
Yeah.
The next morning, I got up and we put the Skankfest poster out for New Orleans. People are like, "You're a piece of shit." And I was like, "Right?
Yeah, crazy, huh?"
So much engagement.
So is Martin like the I don't want to say wildest guest that you've had on, but wildest in the sense that like it's crazy that this person is on, not we're having this crazy ass show.
No,
but just
I think New Jack from ECW was our like craziest guest.
Well, you guys had like a relationship with New Jack.
He came on twice.
Yes,
and it was scary both times. Like
scary.
Like he's a terrifying individual. We did a bit where we shut off the lights. And then, like, when the lights came back on, I was wearing, like, a bird feather mask and, like, an American flag T-shirt. Dude, if you watch it back, you'll see his hand is in his pocket getting a weapon because he doesn't know what's going on.
And he doesn't like it. And there's one way to solve this.
And he opened up about, like, stabbing that guy in the ring. He opened up, like, he had a crazy relationship with Marlena. And he was...
Oh, yeah.
He was a wild man. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
If you remember Noah, who used to work here at Sirius XM.
Oh yeah, of course.
She stopped the murder of Lewis via New Jack via me.
What do you mean?
We were here doing something.
We were here. That's right.
And New Jack was on that night. It was the second time he was going to be on.
Yes.
And it was me, Lewis, and Noah, and we were here recording something. That did not come to fruition.
Oh yeah, we were going to do a radio show, Sirius XM.
That's sick.
Many years ago.
So many times I would try to get a radio. Me, Tim Dillon, and Nick Mullen pitched a radio show to Sirius XM.
Because Sirius knows you guys are nobodies. You know,
it's insane. They're like, no, we're not interested. Are you fucking retarded?
Who would want that
It's
show?
crazy.
So somebody tweeted New Jack that morning.
And Sirius historically was proven right again.
Yes.
Somebody tweeted New Jack this morning. You're going to do Legion of Skanks. Those guys say the N-word or something. And Lewis replied to that guy,
Yeah.
N-word, please. But New Jack, not knowing
Sirius XM, you can say it, Zach.
not knowing how Twitter worked, just saw from Lewis that to him.
Yeah.
And starts freaking out on Lewis.
Yeah.
And Lewis is on the computer here and didn't have service to tweet, so he had to run downstairs to tweet. And while he left his Twitter open, so I wrote, "Rattlesnakes aren't afraid of monkeys, bring it."
Oh my god.
And as I'm clicking send, Noah jumped over the table and took the keyboard away from me, so that New Jack wouldn't just show up and start stabbing Lewis in the face.
Because he absolutely
He
would.
absolutely would have.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to make things right though with him.
Of course, yes. Before he died, we
Yeah.
became friends again. That's all that mattered.
That's great. That's
he came
all-
on the show. He loved it. He had a great time both times.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked, I think, like one show with him, and he told me where to put, he had like fluorescent light tubes or whatever, and he told me where to put them under the ring. And he told me which corner he needed them in. But he looked at me and said, make sure it's in that corner. And it was one of those looks where it's like, holy fuck. If I get this wrong, my life is in danger. And I put it in the right corner, luckily. But him looking for the tubes, I don't think I've ever been so terrified. Like, what if I hadn't?
Yeah, what if he forgot the corner?
Right, yeah.
You have no idea. Now you're putting all the faith that his brain is still working properly.
Yeah. It's like I'm going to argue, sir, actually, you said the other corner. I was right on this one.
Yeah, he was a wild man.
Yeah, he was.
Genuinely a wild man. He was probably, I think, the most like I felt in danger of having on as a guest.
And then you brought him back.
And we brought him back, yeah. And then Milo Yiannopoulos was just like, Milo's just I think he's just funny. He's just like a troll.
Because he's such a high level troll.
He's just such a troll, but people really freaked out about having Milo Yiannopoulos on when we had him on Legion of Skanks. We had to leave the Creek and Cave. Like Rebecca was like apologizing to all the young comics, and we're like, let's just go. This just isn't the place for us anymore.
Like leave? Like,
yeah, we never went back to the Creek
Wow.
and Cave. Yeah, that was why we ended up moving over to the Stand.
Yeah.
But like people were like threatening to show. This is when milkshakes were being thrown at people. That was a big thing.
That's right.
Zach showed up just for the milkshakes.
Yep. I had a bib. I had a bib and a comically sized spoon.
Wow, yeah. People get mad.
People get really mad.
Oh, dude, they did an outdoor Legion of Skanks, and Milo came on as a bit.
Yeah.
And I brought him on, and then I stood across the street and just watched. And I watched
Good for
two
you.
liberal white women on bicycles collide because they both saw him at the same time on a microphone.
And they couldn't believe what they were
And
seeing.
they both, their minds just left, and they just collided and injured each other on the street.
Have there been any guests that you regret? Like, okay, we pushed it too far? Has that ever happened? Even for any of the shows, really? Has there ever been a time where you're like, we pushed it too far?
Little Pete from Pete and Pete. That piece of shit.
Not Danny Tamborelli.
Danny Tamborelli.
Why? What's wrong with Danny Tamborelli?
What a motherfucker.
Because he's just so...
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I know. I know.
I'm
I've spoken.
kidding. He was great. He was actually on an episode where there was a person in the audience wearing a Proud Boys hat. And this is before the Proud Boys were really cool. This is back when they were just, a couple guys from each city. Sure. And some dude just came up to our stage. We were doing Legion of Skanks, and he grabbed my microphone, and he's like, "You're going to sit here and let a Proud Boy be in your audience?" And if you watch the video, I'm like, my mind can't catch up with the fact that somebody would just take my microphone out of my hand. So I start to like just glitch, and then I fucking get up and I start threatening to murder this kid. It was nuts. That was one of the nuttier. And poor Danny Tamborelli's just sitting there. It's like, I just thought this was a podcast.
It is always funny to me when people from outside, like the comedy podcast world, aren't 100% sure of what they're getting into.
He had no idea.
And you can always see it on their faces. Like, no, dude, I know it's a fun thing. I know I know you like listening to podcasts and stuff. I don't know if you want to.
I think we actually created a rift between Big and Little Pete, because Big Pete's like a straight up bleeding heart liberal.
Oh yeah,
hardcore. And he was like, those guys. He blocked me on everything. Who else blocked me? The guy from Eve 6.
Not Hard in a Blender.
Yeah, Hard in a Blender blocked me.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, did you question everything?
He's through with you.
I mean, some people they take it so serious. I'm the least political person there is. Like, there's nobody that is less political than me. I say it all the time that politics are gay. I don't follow politics. I think all politicians are criminals and they suck. But
you like getting people upset.
I do like to troll people a little bit. Yeah.
Right. It is funny though that people can't. Well, people get so. I think people, and it's only getting more so. People get so emotional about it that they can't stop for a second and go, "Wait, is this person pissing me off on purpose?
Yeah.
Like, is that all this is? Does this person like? There's no foundation to this. It's like, oh, you're mad. I'm just going to keep doing the thing that you're mad at. It's like little kid stuff.
Yeah, people get mad if you just say you don't like politics. They're like, "Dude, you have to fucking like politics."
Right.
Like, I'm stupid. You don't want me voting.
Yeah.
My vote would be ill-informed.
Right, it'll be a bad vote.
Yeah. I think they should give you a test. I think they should have a certain IQ to be able to vote. I believe in all that stuff.
Sure.
And I wouldn't make the cut.
You would not?
No.
We got other things going on, though.
I'm thinking about myself.
Right. You're not really worried about all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I'm kind of with it to an extent. Like, I feel like not that long ago, people had their lanes. And you wouldn't sit there like, unless it was an entertainer who had to put themselves on that pedestal. A lot of entertainers, you weren't sitting there. Comedians, you weren't sitting there unless it was a political comedian.
There was like Bill Maher and there was Dennis Miller. There was like 3 political comedians. Now everyone has like huge chunks about politics and this guy. They all have a hot take. None of them fucking read books. None of them know anything. They go on Twitter for an afternoon and they talk shit, and that's the extent of the research they do.
Right.
So I'm like, if you're not going to actually go and do what you need to do, shut the fuck up. Stay out of it.
Right. It's like, yeah, it used to be like, whatever's in the news, whatever people are talking about, we'll make fun of that.
Right.
And it has no agenda. It has no like, oh, that means you voted for. No, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it literally means nothing.
Yeah, that's what it should be. You should be making fun of Elon Hiling.
Of course you should be. Yes.
People are like, no, dude, he was throwing his heart out. Dude, he was hiling.
He was
hiling. I hile. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I'll say for me.
No, Sam, I got this. Hiling's cool.
I'll say for me, I don't love it.
When's the last time you hiled?
I haven't.
See?
And sometimes.
So how are you going to talk shit about something that you don't even do? Wow. I just broke Sam's brain.
Yeah. No, I'm glitching out.
Think about how fun it is to fist pump.
Fist pumping's great.
Yeah.
That's one.
Right.
Now you just let go of the hand.
Oh, wow.
Straighten it. More. Yeah.
I did love
get a little extension on that.
I did love that.
People think I'm calling Elon a Nazi. I'm like, yeah, but I like that about him. I'm going to buy a Tesla now.
I did love that Zach said he thought that he might be dabbing in reverse.
Yeah, I think he went to dab and he got it 100% wrong.
But I mean, yeah, it's like, regardless of intention.
That's what happens when a white African tries to dab.
Regardless of intention, he hiled.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Maybe.
No, not and all like, and I was ready to go. Well, all the Elon haters are just taking it out of context because I just saw the image. Yeah. And you go, people extend arms all the time. But I mean, he hit his chest.
He went bang, bang.
Hard.
And then you're like, all right, maybe that was an accident. Then he turned to the flag and did it again. You're like, what? He did it twice.
Yeah. Unless he had watched Pearl Jam's Jeremy that morning. There's no excuse for that behavior.
No, he did it. But it's insane.
And I don't think he was paying homage to Hitler. I think he was like, we're just going to take the Heil back. This is ours now.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that
it's like black people with the N-word.
Oh, you think he's taking it back like that?
I think he's taking it back. Now it's theirs.
Like people have used this against us.
I think the Jews like him, and he likes the Jews.
Oh, I don't know after the Heil if that's the case.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I don't know.
What if you just Heil Jewish communities? That's like
Wait, you didn't hear who I was Heiling to?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He was Heiling to the media.
Right, we're taking it back.
He was Heiling to the weather.
yeah, everything. We're taking it all back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually. I'm
so impressed. You built tunnels this high.
Yeah. I mean, but it is just the fact that these things are happening. It's like it should be made fun of.
Of course, it's 100 should be made. It's crazy if comedians aren't making fun of that.
Right.
It is hilarious.
Well, it lends power to it, and the last thing we want to do is lend power to it, right? Yeah. Yes, because what's lending power to it is you and your set at the stand. Yeah. You're the most powerful person. You're the one who's going to turn this into a bigger thing.
Yeah, I got, I think it's all dumb and all funny.
Yeah.
I think it's all crazy.
Yeah. And what's great too is that there's nothing in your life or yours either, Zach, that like would stop you from doing that, because every time people, dude, you're taking it too far. You can't do that. You can't make that joke. You can't do. It's like you're doing well.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you change the recipe?
Yeah, I wouldn't do. I mean, I literally walked into Legion of Skanks last night and I hiled to the whole crowd. I swear to God, I did, and they were hiling back. It was such a fun time to be had.
Because it's in the zeitgeist.
Well, Anthony Cumia was in the studio. So.
Oh, well then, okay, they were doing it for real then. Yeah.
No, these were actual Nazis.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
you know,
Okay.
It's called reading the room, Sam.
Right.
I was pandering to my audience.
And so you're an entertainer at the end of the day. You got to do that. How was Anthony?
He was great.
He was.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
We were making him uncomfortable with our racist jokes. It was crazy. Yeah.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. He was on his best behavior.
Why?
And Jim hates you now.
He does.
No, I'm kidding.
Why did he?
Jim can't stand you.
Wouldn't it be great if he just showed up and like blasted me and I was like, what? Huh? Well, was Jim on too?
Yeah, it was Jim, Anthony, and Ari Shafir.
Whoa.
Trifecta of hate.
Well, it's a lineup, dude.
Yeah, it was a great lineup.
That's
Really fun.
when does it come out?
Tonight on Gas Digital, Friday everywhere else. But it's the censored version on YouTube, and you want to see that show uncensored, so you should go subscribe to Gas Digital.
Subscribe to Gas Digital.
The only network out there that is non-political, that is uncensored, ad-free. You still watch the episodes coming out on YouTube later on, but there's a lot of censorship. So
yes, for sure, and also the non-political part is nice.
Yeah, no,
Comedy focus.
Dave Smith moved on to his own platform that we still run, but it's separate. He's not on.
Interesting.
He's not on Gas Digital anymore. He's still part of Legion of Skanks, but it's 17 or 18 comedy podcasts, and it's all just being funny. It's all silly.
Isn't it unbelievable and great that Dave Smith can spend a Monday evening with you on Legion of Skanks and be just in the debauchery of it all still, and then also be with that intellectual crew on like news panels and stuff like that?
Yeah, Dave is a unique individual.
Yeah.
He really gives a shit about politics.
Yeah.
He's not like, he's not one of these just guys with Twitter fingers. Like Dave sits around reading books all day. And
could you imagine? Has
real conversations with like politicians and people that really know what the fuck they're talking about. I think it's gay.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I like wrestling.
Yeah.
I think wrestling's awesome. That's what I do. Wrestling. Yeah. Well, listen. The Lewis and Zach Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon on Gas Digital.
And that Friday show is just for subscribers, so that one never goes out to anywhere else. That's just for people that subscribe to the Gas Digital Network.
It's silliness.
Just silliness.
It's silliness, and it's perfect. It comes on at noon, so you're listening to us being silly boys here. Mm-hmm. And then if you're like, there's not enough silliness, go over to Gas Digital Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
That's it.
Get you some Lewis and Zach.
Love it.
It's great seeing you guys. I'm glad you came by. Yeah, you guys are the best. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
This has been Sam Roberts Show. If you missed anything or want to hear it all over again, check out Sam Roberts Show on the SXM app.
Citation to put them in the garbage can. The baby wipes, the used condoms, or things like that. Chewed up gum even, maybe. Well, apparently all those things that are not biodegradable mix with all this like grease and oil and everything else in there, and it congeals and forms into these big masses of just solid absolute waste, and there's no place for them to go. So when these guys go down into the sewage, part of what's in the sewage are these big rocks that are just masses of used baby wipes and flushed condoms and everything else you might flush down the toilet. And it's so gross to look at it. And then I started looking, and so they say, the way they brought this, and I feel like it was just a reason and a way to bring fatberg content into the zeitgeist, into the mainstream. And there's got to always be somebody who knows about fatbergs that's like, how do we make it topical? How do we bring the fatberg conversation back up and make it seem like, oh, this is something that's happening now? It's not that we just want to talk about this gross stuff that's in the sewer. So they said, oh, somebody's making perfume out of it. And nobody's buying the Fatberg perfume. Nobody wants that. But no. They want the perfume where the commercial's in black and white, in slow motion, and Timothy Chalamet is looking in the camera lens, and it's like, yeah, that's the perfume I need. Not the, like, hey, you know it is technically the scumbag. The jizz-filled used condom that you flush down the toilet. We can make a perfume out of that. It's a literal eau de toilette.
You've never wanted to smell a woman's neck and breathe in the scent of feces?
No. And technically, it's not feces. It's everything. Because it would have the essence of feces, not the full smell, right? Because it's surrounded. It's infused almost.
Notes of feces.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Coriander.
That's it. That's it. Because look, the baby wipes do have a nice smell to them. So that with kind of a hint of fecal remnants and Nicole from the Morning Mashup's iPhone would all be like combined into this thing. But no, I started looking at these Fatbergs and I saw that a couple of years ago, England had a big problem because one of their sewage treatment areas got completely clogged by just a mass of massive Fatberg. And I can't imagine going into that field of work. Like even just having to deal with individuals, gross stuff, whether it's an exterminator, whether it's a plumber, whether it's any of this stuff, the disgusting stuff that you must see going into somebody's house. My hat's off to you. I can't imagine what they deal with. But then to take it a step further and to be like, no, I go into the sewer and I go through the sewage of everybody. And sometimes the weird shit that just gets flushed down the toilet. Yeah, I got to move that so that everything can go through. They say that the flushable wipes aren't even actually flushable. That you're not supposed, even when it says this baby wipe is flushable, that you're not really supposed to flush them. But I do flush them when they say they're flushable.
Me too.
Because I can't, because it's real difficult in that moment to put community over self, where you know that it would be better for the population as a whole to avoid Fatbergs entirely. The reason you're not flushing is not because of your stuff, but it's because of your stuff, combined with your neighbor's stuff, combined with the guys across the street stuff, that eventually masses up into this huge thing. So the idea, of course, you're like, well, for my community, I want to avoid Fatbergs. But on an individual level, the idea of having shit-stained baby wipes in the garbage can is revolting. It's absolutely disgusting.
Well, you're benefiting your micro community by not loading the little bathroom garbage with shit-stained wipes.
Can you imagine somebody coming over and like, oh, can I use the bathroom? No. It's full of wipes and stinks to high heaven.
It's not happening.
No, you're right. It's always difficult to see the macro perspective. The micro perspective is always so right there. But the problem is that they call this the Mike Rowe perspective because he's the one that's going to have to go down and do the dirty job and clean up Fatbergs. I would love to have him next time he's in. Somebody make a note of this. Next time we have Mike Rowe in, I want to know if he's ever confronted like real life Fatbergs, because for some reason, I just can't think of anything more disgusting.
I did a search for Fatberg's dirty jobs. I didn't see anything come up with Mike Rowe.
He probably turned it down.
Yeah, he's probably like, absolutely not.
I'm not doing that gross shit.
No.
That's disgusting. Because that means it goes through all the feces and then lives forever. And then what do you do with it? Once you like unclog it out of these like sewage pipes, do you have to carry it out and put it in a garbage bag? Some of these sewage workers, the way they're taking pictures with the Fatbergs that they find, it's like when you like a fisherman, like Mike Iaconelli, getting a big catch and going like, look what I caught. Look at the size of this Fatberg. And once you see him, by the way, and if you Google image it, or maybe we'll tweet out a photo or something like that, but once you see him, it's impossible to tell what it's made of at all. Like it's impossible to see what the ingredients are, which to me is even grosser. It's just you know what it is? It's nasty. It's real nasty.
Given the newfound profit motive behind Fatbergs, do you think people will start like factory farming them?
Oh, because the perfume?
Like setting up situations where they have a number of commodes lined up and they just force feed fat guys who sit over, they shit, they wipe, they drop the stuff, they have couples come in, have sex, and they create sort of a potpourri in the septic tank below the facility.
The couples for the condoms.
Yeah, for the condoms, a woman for a used tampon, and then they have harvesters who go in there. And they grab them and they kind of figure out what kind of scents they can manufacture.
I'm glad you came up with that theory because I think it's accurate. I think it's very possible, especially if this Fatberg perfume is the rousing success that I think they think it will be. I forgot about the tampons, but you're right. Tampons are right in that category. For me, I was worried about an industry forming